like
I was daring
10 seconds earlier, and that would have been on the stream. Just 10 seconds. That's all I wanted.
Blooper reel. It's a blooper reel, I'm telling you.
Oh, stupid
you.
YouTube's preview button.
The holiday behind the scenes episode.
Oh, we are not doing a Star Wars holiday special. We are not going that route. We are not going to talk about that.
Great.
It didn't happen.
We could talk about Life Day and about important traditions in all of our races.
No,
Rangers
we're not doing
paint his armor all red and white and everything.
Oh, Tabby, have you seen the Star Wars holiday special?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Good.
That's good.
Wasn't that the one that I named my rabbit after?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You named your that's where that comes from. Oh my god, that's where the name comes from. I totally forgot about that. I thought you just pulled it out of like the Wikipedia, which you probably did, but I didn't realize that's
I
where...
never actually.
Hi guys, welcome to the stream. Welcome back to the Edge of the Empire, episode 4.
Where chaos reigns.
That's what the stream's name.
Well, then that must be the episode. Somebody did this right. It was me.
Who?
It
Top
wasn't me.
Teens.
I don't know if it's correct or not.
Welcome, guys, back to the table with the usual suspects.
Wow. Is that what we are now to you? Criminals?
It's not now.
We did kind of roll up and, like, murder face a lot people.
You just killed a whole bunch of...
That's a good point.
God.
It's a bad thing, because they're bad people.
We're all bad people.
Exactly. It's not a bad thing.
That makes
legal murder. Legal.
Now,
makes it
all I
fine.
know is Vic owes us money because it was his shot.
Yeah, well, let's go around the table, and then you guys can discuss that, because that's a good point. So, welcome back to Edge of the Empire, where myself and a close group of friends sit down and play a tabletop game on the internet. That sounds like a pretty good description of this, and we're playing Star Wars Fantasy Flight game Star Wars RPG, which you can find the rulebook over on their website or Amazon or whatever. It's a lot of fun. We're using Tabletop Simulator to play it, because you guys always ask that question, how are you playing this? And we're using mods, workshop items, to allow us to have some of fun, like, assets and stuff that we can throw on here, like the map you're seeing and the little icons and all that jazz. So, okay, let's go around the table real quick. We've got Tabby and Boots playing Kree.
Hello.
We've got Texfire playing Vic.
Yo.
We got Avisor playing Cantios.
Hello.
And then lastly, we've got Blitz playing Ranger.
Good day.
And there's a quick flash of his character card right there, so you guys can get an idea. Now,
Ooh, Rangers flashing people.
we're not going to go...
No, that's illegal in several systems.
On Tatooine, it's totally fine, though.
That's legit.
It's just the sunburn that you would get. You don't even want to know.
Oh.
Those twin suns. Okay, so as always, I will be saying thank you to everyone who has donated. I will say right now, thank you, Alden Fitcher, for the $25 donation. I will be saying thank you at the end of the stream and during the break for the stream. So a little bit different than the normal streams, but okay. So who's up for the last time on Welcome to the Rim intro?
One quick house cooking question, though.
Okay.
Do you anticipate having a scientist NPC named Alden who dies horribly at some point?
Why you gotta bring up old shit, man? Why you gotta?
Because that's what we do here.
Find a scientist's body and it's got a little name tag on it.
Oh, the scientist you guys met in the cave, that would have been perfect, but then that wasn't during the stream times. So that was before the stream started. Oh well.
The before times.
The before times.
Before the stream times.
Alden, you may end up becoming an NPC now, who may or may not end
I'm
horribly.
sure we'll kill more NPCs.
Oh, now you guys
may
will
even
know.
be scientists.
You guys will know. It'll be like Kenny from South Park. You'll have this NPC, and you know he's gonna die, but you're not gonna know how or when, and it may just never happen just to mess with you guys. But yes,
Or
love
I
this
could
plan.
just kill him.
I love this.
I like to think we accidentally kill him.
Can't just
You land on him with a
slightly.
ship or something. Okay, let's do the intro and let's get into it. So I believe if we're going around the table, we've already had Kree and Vic do theirs. So Cantios, give us the tale of what happened in the last episode.
Well, I almost lost my tank because we apparently can't see guys with rocket launchers coming around corners. We have a lovely bonk droid. This guy over here. Fought a bunch of people in the cantina. I kind of blacked out for a little bit after that, so it's hazy. There's a lovely smuggler who apparently helped us. He gave me some booze. Created jazz hands. Vic might have just cost us 9,000 credits. You know, typical Vic stuff. And Ranger's being Ranger and missing most of the time, but then gets the kills somehow.
I stabbed a guy.
Yeah, Mr. I can't hit a thing with my gun.
And this is how Cantia sees the world. These just like little events. They're just like, whatever. I love it.
care.
And then there was some black in there. I don't really know what.
I was passed out. Blood loss,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's a lot of blood loss.
So
Go back to my room, Dad.
And the brain damage.
And then every time he always wakes up to my lovely face, my lovely Keldor face.
Just so lovely. Oh, it's that leathery skin that really sells it, I think.
Holy.
Oh man. Okay, so
Wait, the light reflects off the black goggles over my eyes. Yeah.
and the face mask where you can't see any of your expressions. All right, so
Looked at her
last
hands.
time you guys have been through this epic battle, the largest battle you've ever been in. You've taken out an entire swoop gang. Amazingly, you all survived it. You did, however, shoot a weapon, a vehicle weapon, a very large weapon that's meant to shoot at, other vehicles, at a building with people in it, and horribly maimed the target you were trying to find. You did make it inside, some negotiations that went poorly. You met a smuggler named John Roland, who isn't quite sober, who is here for other reasons, trying to meet up with a individual that you actually saw the bounty for, a man named Brass Deadlock. Rumor, he said, had it that this guy was going to show up here at the Squills for one reason or another. You didn't find out why. And now you're kind of looking over the place to see if there's any more threats and any more loot. And you found a few objects, so...
Like a gold-plated Jawa bobblehead.
Oh, yeah.
Is that really your
Let's go on the
highlight?
skiff.
That's what she wanted.
That's your highlight? Okay, so over the next
Who
couple
wouldn't
of
want that?
hours, you kind of walked around and found all the items of value, really. So, which, for brevity's sake, because there was a lot of bodies out there. You did find, in total, and you can split this amongst yourselves, because you were all out looking around, you did find in total 600 credits off the various dead entities. You also found, out of the interesting things, and whether or not you take this stuff is up to you, but you did find...
Oh my god, there is just a pile.
That's,
Good lord.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pile. A handful of rifles and blaster carbines, a few light blasters, some armored clothing. Out of all of the Squill Kings, the Squills that you were going after, these guys, only 2 sets of armor actually survived. There they are. And inside the trapdoor that you found below, you found crates and boxes full of food and medical supplies that were earmarked for various colonies around Tatooine. The one that catches your attention is the colony that you've been to, Mos Takei, which has the most boxes labeled for shipping for there. You have a feeling that the Squills may have grabbed this stuff from supply shipments and ambushed them. Ranger, you found a jump pack at the end of the last session. This jump pack, by the way, isn't a jet pack, but a pack that'll allow you to cross the distance from one range band. Also, you'll be able to jump into the air and go over obstacles. So you are finding that, whatever you want to do with that.
I haven't used one of these in years. Oh, I'm taking this baby.
Now, bear in mind, it is back-mounted, so that means you can't wear a backpack.
That'll have to be dropped off back at the skiff.
So that's the thing. You also found one simple rocket tube that actually is loaded. The same type of rocket, same design that was used against you earlier.
I was gonna say rocket not included.
Rockets all separately.
Hey, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Maybe I can take a look at that later, see if I can maybe make it run a little bit faster. I love new tech like that. But it's just straight up a jet engine on your back, without any safeties or anything. That sounds really interesting.
Stay with it, Vic. Stay with it. Stay with it, Vic. Vic, focus.
Nope,
Focus.
nope. I'm sorry.
Gotta clear out this area. It's just grab some stuff quickly, and let's just. You never know who's left in this place.
8.
I almost spit my coffee.
So did we find anything? I'm assuming. Did we find our target?
Found what was
Parts of
what
him.
you left of him. Vic
Well, what do you mean by that?
points to the room. Go see for yourself.
Let's
What take it is, by the way.
let's explore. Maybe he's lying. We don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm totally
we-
lying.
No, not you. The guy that told you that. It's a Twi'lek. How common are
we know?
Twi'leks out here?
Killed one of them already.
Vic peers his head in there. Yeah, that's definitely half of a Twi'lek. I don't suppose that's our Twi'lek, huh?
We don't know.
No. Okay. Anybody take a look around, see if we can maybe find like some identification papers or
I looked,
or, you know,
but
notes or
all I
stuff
found
that
was
might
this
indicate-
data pad.
You want to pick out some of this
As-
stuff to leave here, and we'll just chuck the rest down the bottom, and then we'll just take the stuff back to the skiff. Pick out stuff
yeah,
now.
or if Mr. Roland wants to pick any over in it, but we really appreciate your help during that little set 2 we just had.
Roland kind of like looks up from the table now. You can see he's starting to sober up, but he's feeling a little rough now. What do you got over there? Anything? I like hats. Any hats?
No hats.
Oh,
None without holes in them.
You guys don't mind, I think what we'll do is we'll take that heavy repeating blaster from outside and we'll mount that on the skiff.
Oh yeah, put that to one side. We'll take that out later.
you do look
And
closer at the
then-
heavy repeating blaster, and you see that it would be really easy to mount it to that mount point in the front of the skiff.
And then just like store the tripod somewhere else, maybe, so we can still have that option.
Perhaps
Should
we
we-
just take the rocket
Yeah.
tube as well, just to store on the skiff. I mean, this is an anti-vehicle weapon.
Does anybody need some armor? There's a little bit of armor. This padded armor, it's got kind of a dead guy in it and a couple of holes.
Dead guy.
It's
inside.
it could, I guess it could be cleaned up, but yeah, it's definitely not.
I'm thinking
great.
about it. I'm thinking I'm thinking about looting everything from this man that shot me almost to death.
I tell
he's
you what,
wearing
kid,
it.
I can work on fixing that up for you if you want it.
That'd be fantastic.
I think Vic actually had one of these blaster rifles out in the tank, did he not?
Yes.
Okay.
Did we ever find that, was there anything else bigger, heavier?
Anything else?
Yeah, there was one. There was a light
Yes.
automated
Ooh.
blaster. Where'd that one go?
Right here. I just threw it over.
Where?
Ah.
Put that-
Ranger, that kind of looks like your thing. I'm not sure that anybody else could actually lift that up. And we saw how well I did when I was on a heavy gun, so maybe you should take custody of that thing.
Bree kind of gives a sidelong glance at that statement.
I tell you what,
Scantios also looks up and goes, "What do you mean? This guy can't hit the broadside of a goddamn banter with rifles."
let's head it to the loot, to take back to the skiff. We'll sort it out when we got more time. Well, that's the loot pile.
This is what you guys are taking right here?
Yeah. It's a separate.
And this.
Okay, so somebody go ahead and grab that and just store it. Whoever is
Anybody need
managing it.
armored clothing?
You want to put it with a skiff card for now, Tex?
Oh,
Just to say
yeah,
we're taking
here.
it back, and then we'll sort it out later on.
Also, in the skiff. So Vic, I know I want to take this droid body too. I'm thinking that maybe if we have some downtime in the future, I could maybe put C9's head on it. I kind of made a promise to that droid.
Or a C9.
The droid
and I gotta
looks-
get my rope too. My rope is still out there. We
You'll
don't
need
lose
to
that. It'd be
get
really
back
useful
up
if we
to
had to go
the
down a
skiff.
cliff or something.
It's parked up there.
Damn.
Unless y'all want
I
to drive
could-
it off the
got
cliff,
the
to
four
get
of
it
them
down
together.
here.
Hmm.
We're gonna have to haul all this junk up that cliff.
Well, we got the kid's tank.
Yeah, we do have the
If
tank.
it still drives after that shot that it took.
We got the
I
loader
mean,
droid as
that's
well.
gonna
He
go
loads
up the cliff.
loads some stuff on his back.
And you do remember, it is a sheer cliff outside to get back up to where the skiff is.
We'd have to go through the cave.
Maybe. We don't know where that cave goes, though.
Alright, does anyone else want anything else? If not, I'll just push it back down to this hole.
Yeah, just toss it down the hole.
I'll tell you what. Why don't I?
Do we see
Why don't
any?
I go ahead and I can go get the skiff and I could bring it up to the cliff's edge and then I could lower the rope and you could tie stuff on and I could carry it up.
We could do that afterwards, after we cleared this. I mean, what do you call this building? The canteen? Whatever's left of it.
Headquarters.
Yeah. So, can we take a look and see if we can find some identification for that body, and maybe see if we can still get our bounty? Or maybe, I don't know, is there any bounties on any of these other guys?
As you guys are having this conversation, Roland's been kind of looking around, and he's walked into the back of to where the office is, and Gonk's kind of following him around, or Bonk is following him around, and you hear him yell back, "Wow, you guys really did a number over here! And this was your bounty?"
Yeah, Vic.
Well,
We're
you
just
know,
starting out.
We'll figure it
It's
out.
the first one that we've tried. You know, trial and error.
You know you gotta
Right.
bring back the bounty to get paid, right?
It
Yeah, we were gonna take him back.
Did say dead or alive.
I mean, he's gotta be identifiable. There ain't much of him
Okay.
left.
But that might not be him. We don't know that.
So they don't have anything like DNA or, well, I'd say fingerprints, but he doesn't have any fingers left.
Toe prints?
Prince.
Y'all aren't from
Um,
Tatooine, are ya?
Not so much.
No, we're not. We're
There.
not from around these parts.
Business around here is a little simpler than that. You bring back the body, hopefully face intact, or at least enough of it, and you get paid. Or you bring it back alive, depending on what the bounty happened. And I can tell you right now, I didn't see, other than his brother, any other Twi'leks roaming about. Blue
His
ones.
brother?
Blue
He had a
Twi'lek?
brother?
We
Yeah.
blew up his brother too.
Did we?
Was that the guy in the cave?
Yeah.
So
That
wait,
was the
be
guy who was
honest,
gonna drop the grenade in my lap.
Did we kill 5 Twi'leks or 6? To be honest, in all the excitement, I kind of lost track. But
Killed
I
too
gotta
many
ask
Twi'leks
us,
today.
I mean, do we feel lucky or not?
wow, you guys really hate blue Twi'leks. Or maybe it's just the squills. Killed both the brothers, huh?
Pretty sure.
It's amazing you're still alive.
Right, let's
Mostly.
dump the rest of the stuff back down the hole if no one wants anything else.
No, yeah, this goes down the hole.
I'll hold on to that card. It's actually from just like my light blaster pistol.
Ah,
Okay, so these are gonna all go back into the storage
hole.
below.
Yes.
let's clear this building. I want to make sure it's all clear.
And you slam the large metal crate back down, lock it, or close it off.
Ranger sort of very slowly rifle up, heads towards these doors here.
Okay, so as you're walking through the cantina, it's just a really messed up old cantina. There's cracks in the walls. You can see kind of light pouring in. It is now about mid-afternoon. The battle took quite a while. As you roam into the back, and you have already given everything a good look, you see a lot of just old, broken down industrial equipment, empty boxes and crates. You guys have basically gone through all of the rooms now and through all of the bodies that were out and about over the last couple of hours, and there is nothing of real value other than what you've seen. There are a few bottles of booze here and there.
rations?
Oh,
Hey,
wait a minute.
Roland.
Food?
Why are we trying to carry all this stuff ourselves? Hey, Clem, come on around here.
Oh my god.
You hear,
Eh.
and you just almost feel it in the ground, as the giant binary load lifter begins to make its way around the building, having heard
Oh,
your
hey.
call.
Went around and not through.
It takes a
Nice.
while, but eventually it comes over to the front area where you guys seem to be standing closest to.
Alright, get my restraining bolt off that thing, Vic.
Hey, Clem. All right. We ought to wait till we power it down just to make sure it's not programmed with us as hostiles. I'd hate for Clem to not like us all of a sudden.
Good point.
Yeah, shut her down, then take the bolt.
Alright,
Does
Can I
Clem
use-
look like we could maybe actually use him to carry the stuff up the cliff, or just carry it over?
He can walk on a slight incline, but these binary load lifters are meant to be used in like warehouses and loading docks. They're not really meant to be used for all-terrain. So no. You can definitely tell by the way his feet move. He could never climb anything. A flight of stairs. Think Ed 209. Just bad choices.
So we decided there's no point in trying to take the body back. Is that what I'm hearing?
we could throw it in the tank anyway, what's left of it.
Let's take the lieutenant back.
Roland kind of like waves. He's like, I can tell you right now, they're not going to pay anything for that. And to be honest, I don't want to sit next to it on the trip back to town.
Maybe we
You
take
said
the
you're coming
lieutenant
with
back.
us.
What about this other guy? He's still got a head.
Are we just
Lieutenant
gonna
might be
bring
worth
back
something.
random heads? Just to see
Well,
if they're. What about this one? How about this one? I've got more. How about this one? And just hold up heads, and that seems really, really shady. I don't think we should do that.
Well, my thinking is the lieutenant was the second in charge, wasn't he, Roland?
The lieutenant? No, his brother was the second in charge.
So the third.
He looks back at the body and he's like,
Mm.
no,
Ah.
no, I'm pretty sure he was their bookie.
Worthless then.
Oh, yeah, okay, so sounds like a dry hole as far as that goes. All right, well, note to self. Next time, make sure what's behind your target and what's behind that and what's behind that.
Next time,
At least
don't
when you're
try and
firing a
blow
really
up the
big gun.
cantina and kill Kree.
I would appreciate not dying. Speaking of, I'd like to make a medicine check on myself.
Tell you what, I'll do the driving and you do the shooting, kid. Because I saw how you drove that thing.
Yeah, still didn't kill my target or my friends.
Yeah, you almost killed me, taking down that tower on me.
Yeah, almost killed you, right? How much did you take? How much did you get hurt?
Roland starts going through the bar trying to find any more bottles that are at least mostly empty while you guys are messing about.
Alright then, gentlemen. Count
Okay,
down,
Uh,
count down.
Let's get
Pull
loaded
out
up.
my little hand scanner and scan
Yeah.
myself. I guess.
Oh, hey,
The medical
I
check.
got kind of a
Okay.
cut here on this. Anybody do anything about that, or should I?
Just give it a second, unless you've got to rummage through this med bag and help yourself.
So you're doing a medical check on yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so doing one on yourself actually adds quite a bit to the difficulty.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I scanned myself. Does that help?
Yeah, I'll give you a boost. Three failures and a threat.
1, 2, 4, 5 success and 1, 2, 3, 4 advantage.
Okay, so you got 2 success on that. Take 2 wounds off, and then whatever you got for your
What was
strand.
the threat?
The threat, 1 threat. Trying to heal yourself, it's pain.
Oh, do we need
Yeah.
to?
So you managed to bandage up the wounds that you received during combat, and the ones that were actually caused by friendly fire that are on your back were a little bit more difficult to get to, but you do manage to bandage yourself up decently enough.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Ow.
Need a hand with that,
Sorry
Vic?
about that. Yes. Yeah,
Alright.
about the whole almost blowing you up thing.
Yeah, if we could just not do that again.
Yeah, I'll not do that again. But yeah, I want to apologize for that. I mean, really.
Yeah. I know you didn't mean it.
Yeah. Well, good intentions is only great when you don't end up with half a friend.
Yeah, and I'm already pretty short, so.
And half a bounty.
Literally.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
half a
much
bounty.
left if we lost half of you. That's true.
It's basically the boots. That's all that would be left. All right. I'll use the little scanner on Vic.
Are you above half your threshold, or
Yes,
you are? You've taken over half your health?
I am above it.
Okay, so that
No,
adds some
his-
difficulty to it.
No, you're below it.
No.
Lower.
You're below your threshold.
Oh, below my threshold.
Below
No,
the
I'm sorry.
threshold.
Yeah, I'm below the threshold.
Okay, because if it's
It's
over
4
half of
of
your total
17.
health that you've been hit
No,
for,
I'm not even close to that.
okay, so you're not even closer. So it's a
He has
different roll.
most of his health still.
1 failure is what the difficulty roll was. That means your wounds are lighter. It's easier to bandage up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 success. So that's 4 wounds healed, and you don't have any strain. Otherwise,
Great, it's perfectly healthy.
well, I've got my kit out. Anybody else need bandage?
Pretty sure. Can you only do it once, like a week, or is it once in a encounter?
Speaking of which, do we need to roll for force dice again, or is
Oh
that
yeah,
still the same
let's all
encounter?
real quick before we go anywhere else. Let's go ahead and roll for force
Oh.
die.
Add
1 for
one
the GM,
light side.
1 dark.
1 dark,
And
1 light.
oh,
So that
Too
light
dark.
is before I roll.
Oh, that's the one you get just for being a paragon.
And too dark.
And too dark. Okay.
2, 4, 5, 6 dark added.
Oh god.
So
We're not doing very well.
So that's a thing.
got some
The
The only
options.
light side we got is because
You're a
I'm a good
paragon
person.
of the light.
So you always have at least
Did
one.
nobody get
Congratulations.
light at all?
No.
No.
Doesn't seem like it.
Wow. Okay.
I got too
So
dark.
that's a lot of dark side.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh no. No.
Very
All right.
All right. So you guys have collected your loot.
Oh.
You've healed your wounds.
Question.
And we're leaving.
When
I
you do a
healed,
medical
like-
check on Ev, because that's
I-
a free
Was
roll,
I-
isn't it? Gentius needs some
Um,
healing. He's still holding his gut.
Critical injuries.
Oh yeah.
Is that a separate roll?
Yes, it is. All right. So, and it should be difficulty based on the crit that you have.
I would like to try my own.
Isn't that even harder?
All right. What was your
Yeah,
crit?
you gonna do it for me?
I'll bash
2.
some rocks over your head, Toby.
Medical checks are intelligence based, just so you guys know.
Oh, also,
So I get the
as far
advantage
as
still, yeah? Or the boost?
You'll still get a boost for it because you've got the scanner. So you guys
Okay.
kind of clear off a table. What's the wound that you have?
I am compromised.
Okay.
Or I
so
was. That was until the end of the encounter, but it's a 2 severity.
If I remember, it was a blaster through the point where like your shoulder and your chest meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that sounds right.
you guys kind of sit back in this booth back here, one of the cleaner, which I say, relatively to the rest of the cantina booth, and you sit down and you've got this pretty nasty looking wound. Luckily, because it's a blaster bolt, it cauterized, so it didn't continue to bleed everywhere, and you'd be dead if it was anything else. You sit down and you take a closer look at the wound. That every time you attempt just about anything, it just hurts. Go ahead and roll for the medical check.
Okay.
And because of the disgusting area, do you have anything to remove setbacks?
Not for medicine, I don't think.
Okay, so you rolled 2 failures and 4 threats.
2, 4, 6, 7 success.
7 success. Okay, well, the threats don't actually do anything on a
Wow.
crit roll. So you manage to kind of heal up the wound as best you can. You relieve some of the pressure. You fix some of the bandages that are there, and it's easier now to move. You're set now, so you go ahead and remove that crit. And that minus that 10 now. So if you take another crit, you're back to base because you didn't have any other crits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now that I'm all healed up.
just to clarify real quick, sorry, on the inventory thing, wasn't there also on that lieutenant 3 reloads for the rifle and an extra grenade?
Yeah,
Did
there
you
was
say
a
that
couple of
last
We
grenades.
had a few grenades.
Yeah, so
And
there
I
was 2
would-
flash grenades and 1 pepper grenade.
Like to take the pepper grenade if anybody. Because I can set that sucker off anywhere and walk through it.
Again, to us, these flash
Sure.
grenades. I
She's
don't
the
know if
only
you
one
wanna.
who can.
We could stealth into a room and throw one in before we engage, and then perfect timing.
It's something I could do, but then it would be too dark for the one that's stealthing. But alright. I'll
You can get
accept
close
the
to it,
plan.
make sure that flash grenade lands right in front of their eyes.
I'll take a couple of these regular old explosive ones. The one I used outside was really effective.
There was 1 normal grenade.
Yeah,
believe.
I'll take that one if no one minds.
There was 1 normal grenade. So,
No, I've already got 2. Still.
okay. You guys divided up your loot. Make sure you write those down. What do you guys need to do now?
I've got all my medical
Uh,
stuff set up if anybody...
I'd like to
The
get my
doctor is in. I'm not really a doctor.
I'd like to get my chest holes looked at, please.
Okay. You want the
The
crit?
Yeah, please.
All right.
Feel like there
Pretty
should be
bad. Pretty bad.
a waiver before you do this. Okay, so,
Right.
well, what's the difficulty on your wound?
It was a 91 crit.
Okay, so if I
So-
remember
Yeah, that was
correctly,
pretty
that's
low.
going to be pretty high up there for difficulty to fix.
91 is 3. It's a hard check.
Okay, that one's a hard one. So, go ahead and roll it. Make sure you take
Alright.
your boost.
Yep.
There is a setback because of just the disgusting area that you're doing this in.
Okay.
You got 3 failures and 4 threat, but that threat doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I got 3 success.
So when you remove the bit of the cloth armor that he's wearing and you get a look at the actual wounds, they are nasty. They have
got a
cauterized.
lot of advantage, though.
They have cauterized,
nothing.
but there's not a lot you can do. He needs to see medical attention.
Yeah, you
This is
need a
rough.
real, like, doctor. I'm not.
see.
I don't have my doctorate. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna go away at the tank now. I want to go home.
Let's get out of here, guys. Pack your stuff
Yeah,
up.
let me, all right, so we're gonna load up all the loot on Clem here. Let him carry it for a little bit.
I'm just going to the tank. Shut Clem down. Give me back my goddamn thing.
Hey, well, give me a
You get your
second
thing
here.
back.
You want me to look over that thing that just took a rocket hit, or do you want to just drive it as it is? It's up to you, really.
I'd rather say drive it as it is, but I know against my better judgment, you should probably look at it.
Yeah, it's up to you, kid. You don't seem to trust me much lately, so
You
I'll
did
leave
just
that
fire
one
a
up to
hole
you.
through a cantina and wipe out our bounty.
Later, guys. Come on,
Okay.
focus. Later. Later. Get on with it. Later.
Dude, I'm not even married, and you sound like my ex-wife. What the hell?
And that's why you're not married.
All right, so you guys are loading up Clem with all of the gear that you've found so far. Now, is it just the gear? Are you taking some of the food supplies that were in the storage area, or is it?
I'd
what all
like
you
to
taking?
put some of the food supplies in my backpack.
Okay,
just
so you
kind of
take a
replenish.
couple of the packets that come out. Like, we're talking about big crates that are down there. You take a few of the packets, like the MREs type deal, the traveling
Yeah.
food.
Those extra crates that was holding equipment, they were all empty. The tech crates that
Yeah, those
resemble
were
the
for
things outside.
You
Those
guys
were
have
the,
all of the loot that was
Institute.
floating around, unless you're talking about like the food boxes, like the one that you dropped back here and crushed a door with Clem.
And people.
And then there was the Institute boxes, which were mostly empty. I think there was 1 or 2 of them that still had one of the devices inside.
And what was the device?
One of the fencing things.
Yeah, but did it have like a label and on what it was and user manual?
A little
I was
manual.
looking at
never
the
looked?
end of last. I was
Vic's
at
gonna
the
take
end
a
of
look.
last one. So
Let's go and take a look on the way out.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna look at the actual fencing?
yes, I will walk up to the fencing and I will look at it.
He's
Okay.
looking at the box.
So you guys are
See
up.
if there's like a user manual or a serial number.
Yeah, I'm looking at my tank, trying to sleep.
All right,
I have
Cantius has
holes.
walked over to the 6-wheeled vehicle. It's just kind of still smoldering a little bit. It looks drivable, but the armor plating on it is completely blown off of it. No longer has any armor from the rocket that was shot. Kree, after you've managed to fix yourself up and fix up your companions, the ones that wanted healing, you've gone out to take a closer look at what you guys are calling the fencing, the cylindrical objects that have been planted around the structure and around this little outpost that the swoop gangs have been using. So go ahead, Kree, make your, while they're loading up all the gear, go ahead and make a, well, you're just going to walk right up to it, or what are you going to do? Tell me what you're doing.
I'm gonna walk right up to it. Pick it up.
Okay, so as you walk closer and closer to it, you do see some writing on the side of it. You do see that says Deegan Explorations on the side. There is a small panel with a couple of buttons on it, and you realize from reading some of the bits on the side that it's some kind of seismic scanner.
Okay.
You want to do a knowledge check to see if you know anything else about it, or are you just good?
Yeah, let's do that.
Roll an education check.
Education. -1 setback.
Oh, -1 setback. You have because you're-
-1 setback.
That's right. Because you're a
'Cause
scholar.
I'm a scholar.
A scholar.
All right.
2 failures.
Just bring it over here, Dan.
I fail. I know nothing about these things.
Oh, wow, look at all that advantage, though. How much advantage did you get?
2, 4. I got 4 advantage and 1 success.
Oh, so looking over the device, it's a metallic object, obviously some piece of intricate technology that doesn't really seem to be... It doesn't fit with this place. Everything else that you've seen about Tatooine has been rusted and old and beat to hell, old mining equipment, old vehicles that have been repaired and repaired and repaired again, but this stuff seems new. It seems really new. Far too high-tech, far too expensive for something that you would find on Tatooine. Though, you read on the side some type, it says like seismic scanning equipment. You're not sure what that means. Like, what does this do? You're not sure what this object does. You can pass through without any issues, though. And that's all you can really glean off of it, taking a closer look.
Okay, Vic's gonna look over the damage from the tank and make sure that it's not gonna like explode when the kid's trying to drive it.
Okay. So you're looking just to see if it's drivable?
Yeah, to see what kind of damage it sustained, if there's anything else that maybe break loose that needs to be repaired before he tries to drive it off.
Okay, so this roll is going to be just to see if there was going to be an issue mechanically with it going forward, what kind of repairs you'd be able to do to prep it for driving.
Yes.
Just do it all at once. Okay, so go ahead and roll.
-2 setback die.
Okay.
And 4 success, 4 advantage.
All right. You take a look at it, and to the best of your knowledge, even though it's in a mangled shape and it looks really rough, you think it should drive?
Hey kid, come over here. Take a look at this. So you can see right here where the rocket head penetrated through the side and actually crossed completely over the engine compartment and then exploded against the other side of the armor, wrecking the armor panel on both sides. But you can see that it just barely missed the turbo encabulator here, which is really important. If the turbo encabulator hit, it would have been basically inoperable. Yeah. No, it's actually got a pretty good one here too. So the flanger looks like it's in really good shape. So
Cantios walks away.
I'd say it's probably.
And Cantios just walks away mid-conversation.
All right.
Do we really want to take this thing with us?
I don't know. Honestly, I'd strip it for parts, but yeah, you know.
What does
Kid wants to drive it.
Let's get the skiff down there at least, or at least get the gear back to the skiff.
Yeah.
We need to get out of this hole. I mean, there's a cave.
Hey, Cree, what you got over there? What are those things?
Everybody roll a perception check.
3 success, 3 advantage.
2 success, 1 advantage. Ranger.
One success,
2
2 advantage.
success.
Okay, so Vic and Ranger, as you guys are going about your business, getting ready to leave, you notice something almost reflecting some of the sunlight way off in the distance, up high, as the object that just momentarily gets your attention realize it's getting larger and larger. It's coming this way. In the sky, toward the suns, you see a small triangular vessel approaching. Vic, do a...
I rolled 3 successes. Can I not see this?
You rolled 3 success? Oh, I thought you said you only rolled 1 success for some reason. Okay, so you also see this. You, though, actually, you, go ahead and roll a knowledge check for... what would that be? That would be... Outer
Education
Rim.
is the basic
Outer
one,
Rim
right? Yeah.
roll.
Is that all of us, or just...
Just him.
Not me.
1
Just
advantage.
poking at these things.
1 advantage. Okay. You see a ship coming. It looks triangular. It's got 3 wings that stick out the sides. It's starting to get closer to the point where the rest of you now can actually see it. And for those who would know, and I think, Vic, you may be the only person that may recognize it, it is a T-16 Skyhopper, a generic atmospheric flight craft. It doesn't get close enough to say get in like a threat range or weapons range, but it does seem to like half circle the encampment before flying off.
What do you see, Vic?
Yeah.
Can't see it quite.
Yeah, it was a T-16 Skyhopper. I think they're fairly common on colony worlds. Didn't, what's his name? Lewis say something about the leader of the gang having a air skimmer?
That's not good. That's probably scouting us out if it did a whole circle. We need to get out of
Yeah.
here now.
Hey, kid, we gotta go. Come on.
Yeah, fine.
Come on, we gotta get out of here.
Ranger, you want to
Alright.
ride in the tank with the kid, or you want to man the gun on the skiff?
Looking
Okay.
over at the tank, bolts falling off of it. No.
All right.
No. No. Look at that thing. I've seen bits fall off of it. I've seen a rocket go into the side of it. Nope.
You take a rocket and then see if you look pretty.
I'll go climb up, hook up my mountaineering gear, gesture into the belt loops.
Okay. So you're gonna start. You're heading over to climb up.
Well, just to sort of make sure the gear gets out, get the gear moving before going anywhere.
Yeah. Vic's gonna go ahead and shut Clem down and retrieve the restraining bolt.
All right. You walk up to him, hit a couple
Good
of
job,
the buttons that you
Clem.
hit before. While shutting him down, you hear this as the power leaves him, and he tries to get out his confirmation noise, but it kind of gets cut short. You can see that the hydraulics start to retract, and he goes back into that storage position that you had found him in, still holding the gear and equipment that you guys have kind of stockpiled onto him.
Okay. I turn it back on. I take all the stuff off, and then I turn it back off.
Well, they're just sitting there. You can reach it,
just
no
sitting there. You
problem.
don't have to-
They're just like big plates in his hands, basically, with the,
Okay.
with the gear.
All right.
All right, so you take all the stuff off.
This-
Ranger, you're going up the mountainside?
Hey, kid, here's your bolt back.
I'm
Thanks
going to
for
go and help the
loaner.
guys carry gear
No
and then
problem.
figure out what we're going to do as soon as we get to the mountainside, because we've still got to look at this cave. Don't forget about the cave.
After looking at the seismic scanning equipment, I'll wander over and kind of ask Roland what his plan is from here. How did he get here? How's he going to get out of here?
Well, I was hoping y'all would give me a ride. I thought that's what we agreed to. As for my plan, I mean, well, this lead's come up pretty short. So I've got a few contacts that might know something about Deadlock, so I'm going to follow up on those as soon as I get into town. Speaking of town, where are you guys heading?
Back to Moss.
Ether?
Entha. There we go.
Ether?
Entha.
Intha? Yeah, I would much appreciate a ride.
Yeah, we'll give you a
Yeah,
ride
I
if you
think
help
we can-
carry some of our gear out of here.
Just so you know, Roland, a skyhopper just kind of circled around us. That might have been your target looking to come, and he saw fire and left.
Oh, shit. Well, it could be a number of people, but if that's him...
Was
Great.
old Brass, what's his name? Deadlock?
Yeah, Deadlock, and he...
Some stupid
Was
name.
was he associated with this gang? I'm assuming that's why you were here.
No, he's one of the Grey Blades.
Grey Blades. What are
Yeah.
they?
Y'all looked at his bounty, right? Pull out your wanted poster real quick. And so he kind of
didn't say
gestures at
anything.
you, Ranger.
Didn't say anything about a grey blade on the wanted poster.
He points to his shoulder. He's like, "You ever seen that symbol before?"
Oh, wait a minute.
that was on the slave ship that we
Yeah,
got
that was
captured
on
on.
Yep.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute. Y'all got caught up by the Grey Blades.
We're really
we-
new to this planet.
We woke up on
Picked up on that.
a Gazanti with a little Toydarian and a Gand and a couple of other thugs, and they had us locked up in cells, and we managed to get out when they were attacked by what looked like a couple of maybe Huttese fighters, and took an escape pod down to the world.
A couple of Hut fighters. What color were the Hut fighters? Do you remember? Did you get a good look at them?
I saw them briefly through the porthole of the escape pod as it rocketed away, so no, not really.
I wonder what they have to do with this. Grey Blades are a group of bounty hunters. That small time for the longest time, but as of recently, they've been causing a bit more trouble than they're worth. Deadlock here, well, he used to be one of them, and from what I'm told, he's kind of broken away from the group. We got a couple of questions for him, me and my associates.
Did he go rogue?
You said you
Who
woke
are you
up in a
associated with?
Gazanti? As prisoners.
Sounds like after this we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, he's kind of giving there, scratching his chin and giving it a good thought. He's like, huh. I work with the runners, a group of, well, we move equipment and supplies from one point to another, a little bit under the table, if you know what I mean. And we've had a few of ours disappear, and we think the Greyblades have something to do with it. And now you're telling me that you escaped a Gazanti. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, he said something about that we would that I'd be really good in the fighting pits.
Sounds like a slave ship. Why would bounty hunters
Yep.
be working for slavers, though?
That's a good question. I'd kind of like that one answered from a personal standpoint.
Understandable. All right, well then we better get out of here. Who knows what's in that shuttle? He like helps you take some of the gear and lifts it up on his arms, and he's like, "Lead on. Where are we going?"
We need to get back up there to the skiff.
And I'm
Well, I
taking
got
this.
a rope that I
Up.
tied, so that ought to be easy enough to do.
Up there. Well, I guess you didn't take the entrance, and he points to the cave.
We noticed that the cave was heavily defended. We tried a more
Direct.
If you,
Following
if you think we can
approach.
get out there quicker, then I'm willing to follow you.
Yeah, Roland, if you lead the way, you be my second in command on this. Well, it was a tank.
You want to ride in that thing? And he's looking
I am
over it
riding
now,
in
and
that.
there's like bent pieces of roll bar metal. There's pieces of the armor just shattered and flung everywhere. There's still smoke kind of spewing from the back end of it. It's like, what?
We're walking this one.
I'd rather climb that mountain than jump into that thing.
You know what?
Come on.
I'll drive alone. Don't
Let's
need
walk it.
you.
All right. So he follows you, Blitz, and he just kind of like shakes his head as he's walking away from Cantios.
Still
Good luck
upset.
with that, kid.
Alright, come on guys, looks like we're walking through the cave.
Are there any traps or anything that you know of in this cave?
Well, it's not so much a cave as a pass. They've been using it to move in their supplies in and out. I figured that's where y'all came from. I guess you didn't know about the pass. Yeah, through my contacts, I knew how to get through here. It's probably the safest route in.
Yeah, we came over that edge over there. It was okay, you know. I had to tie a rope to get down safely, but wasn't
Safely.
too bad.
Well, all right, I'm not
Just-
getting in that truck, that's for damn sure. And I can show you the route back to Intha.
I'll drive her slowly while you guys walk in front of me.
Why don't you drive ahead of us? To be honest, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay.
That
The
you're
guy
Oh,
doesn't
does
know where
this-
he's going.
Does this lead back up to our skiff
It may.
or away from it?
It'd probably be about a 4 or 5 hour ride before we could find a pass that gets you up on that plateau.
All
Sounds
right,
good
well,
to me.
I'm gonna go climb back up then.
You go
We'll leave
climb it.
our skiff alone that long?
You took the keys, right?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me climb. I got some of this gear. Let me go and do the climb.
Oh, that's right, climbing gear. That would have been useful.
Right, if you guys are already carrying the gear, I'll head back and go get the skiff, and then
Hey, when you
But you
when
need
you
to
get up
radio
on the
me.
top, when you get on the top, lower the rope and I'll tie that cannon on the front of it, and we can mount it on the skiff, and then you can raise me up.
quick question. How
Okay.
high does the jump pack get me?
The jump pack will get you up there.
Big. Hold my bag.
It's
Yeah.
definitely within. It'd be like moving from short to engaged range, and the jump pack can allow you to do something like that. Though it is short range, it's short range for a blaster shot, and it's like a straight up cliffside. So
I'd like to prepare the jump pack for the jump up to the to where the skiff plateau is.
Okay,
Okay.
so judging the distance, it would be a shorter trip for you if you went to one of the more sheer sides of the cliff to jump up there, because the way you guys came down was it kind of had like a little bit of a pathway, so the rocks kind of came out a bit more. You find that optimum route up there, which isn't too far from where you guys came down, and you're doing it, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm going for it.
Okay, so this is your first time ever using this thing. You take off your backpack, and I would assume hand it to your friends. Attach onto that armor that you're wearing, that hard armor. It locks in place. It's a familiar feeling for you. You've used this kind of equipment before. Maybe not so much the jump pack, but you've used a jetpack before. It's a very similar instance technology. It's good to be a Mandalorian. So you'll only get the one setback for never having used a jump pack before. And
Do
go
I
ahead
get?
and make...
Is it athletics roll?
For this, it will be. If you ever use a jetpack, it will actually be a vehicle piloting roll. But this is just a landing thing.
Anything extra for the fact I'm wearing the climber's gear and the gloves are more grippy, so perhaps I can grab onto the sides a bit quicker and really grip on, pull myself up if I have to.
Well, let's see if you need it.
All right then.
That would be a different roll.
Right,
so this is going to be the trying to. Go ahead and do a vehicle roll, actually, an atmosphere roll for this.
A what?
Because this is your first time trying to pilot this thing, and you're kind of trying to aim it at the same time, and you're not quite sure how the angle is going to go, what kind of arc it's going to have.
So, piloting planetary?
So piloting planetary.
I
Go
just
ahead and roll.
imagine Cantios is watching Ranger go fly through the sky.
All right, the roll was 1 success, 3 advantage.
Okay, so you prepare yourself, and you're pretty confident. You've used jetpacks before. This can't be so different. I mean, if the Empire can do it, and those other military groups out there can use these things to assault positions, you could totally do this. And you fire up the thing, and with a sudden jolt of acceleration, the rockets fire off. You fling yourself toward the mountainside. You sadly misjudged the arc substantially, and you hit the side of the mountain. Whack! About arm's reach up to the edge where you wanted to land, and you suddenly try to grab up for the top of it. Go ahead and roll that athletics check now.
All right, and extra for the climbing gear, for the rough gloves.
Yeah, take the
2, now that it's repaired?
Also
Two
take
bonus
1
die,
point of damage for just slamming yourself into the side of a mountain.
Yep, double bonus die for this.
Free's gonna
You
open
know
up a ration
Cantios.
pack and offer some to Cantios.
Oh yeah, he's gonna take it. He's gonna enjoy this.
Ouch.
I got 4 success for 5 advantage.
All right, you had 1 failure and 1 threat. And after the embarrassing, and everyone hears this almost metal clank on rock sound, you reach up and grab one hand at the ledge of the cliffside at the very top, and manage to fling yourself up on top, land on your feet, and you brush yourself off, hoping that nobody noticed.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's been many years since I've done that. Oh, like clicking my back a little bit, like.
Can he hear the laughter?
As you look over the side of the mountain now back at your companions, who are all sharing a snack, almost like eating popcorn while watching you, you hear this light laughter and a snicker.
Do you know what?
And I'll wave.
Ranger's not gonna sink that low. He's just gonna turn around, walk away. Kids.
I'm gonna look
Yeah.
over at Vic and go, I guess you're not getting that rope back.
Yeah, no, I think he can probably grab it and lower it to me. Hey, Ranger, you gonna lower that rope and let me carry me up?
Oh, you want to be carried up?
Oh, you want to
Well, you
carry
can help.
him up.
I mean, tie off, and then you could help as I climb up.
How about tied to the skiff, and then maybe that would be easier. Bit
Burn
more
the
of an
rope.
anchor. Bit
That's
more
a
of
good
an anchor
question.
to the
Can
skiff.
can we? How tall is the thing? Can we just lower the skiff over the edge of it and land it? Up to
It would
50
drop like a
meters.
rock if you pushed it over the edge. What's the height altitude on that thing? Should say, right?
Max height should be 50. Doesn't actually say on this one, but I think the comparable ones are up to 50 meters.
No, this was about half of the one that it was using, and I think it was only like 2 or 3 meters. I don't think it was 50. But you got a feeling it's probably not a good idea to push a floating skiff off the side of a mountain at this
Yeah.
sheer angle. If it was a little bit lighter of a grade, you probably could try it. But that would probably end pretty poorly. You do, however, still have Ranger. You still have your climbing gear attached and anchored to the section where you had gone down and met up with them. So that's all still set up. You never took it off because this is the first time you've been back up.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to go and
'Cause-
get that, and then my plan is to use that winching set to attach it to the skiff,
Okay.
and then bring the gear and anyone else that wants to come up.
Okay.
Hey,
I'd like to go and fetch my climbing gear, the winch. And
hey
stuff
Ranger,
like that,
before
so-
you go up there, you want me to hand you off the code cylinder for that thing? Oh, guess I could have offered beforehand.
I thought you left it in there.
What? What kind of asshole leaves the keys in the skiff when he's off in a
Oh, Vic.
dangerous area?
Man, it's like he almost could have offered
Now-
that to you before you hit your head into that mountain.
Not
Like,
like
you
the
could have
rope
offered some
situation, isn't
rope.
it?
To some certain individuals.
Vic, your memory's slipping.
Well, I've got that rope attached over there. If you want to lower that other one, you could just help belay me on as I'm climbing back up.
I'm gonna go and get my winch set from the where I set up earlier.
Okay. So you go back and collect your stuff. It's an easy process. What do you want to do?
I need to winch Vic up.
Okay. So
Or at least actually try to get the code cylinder from you, and then go and attach you to the skiff.
So you guys are using the rope to get the code cylinder?
I don't know why you're just obsessed with attaching it to the skiff, but okay.
Because of your weight. Your weight. You are heavy, Vic.
May have had a couple of meals.
You are a big man, Vic. You are a big man.
All right, so you guys hook up the winch without issue. The same rope, you had some extra slack to it. It was actually balled up down at the bottom there. Without any issue, you do get the code cylinder from him, just using the rope to bring it up real fast. And now you're ready to start pulling people up.
Yep. For those who want to come up, or do we want to explore the cave?
I'd
probably
say
just get
let's
out of
just
here.
go back on the skiff.
Let's get out of here.
Go ahead and send the stuff up first. Tie it on off.
Alright then, send the gear up.
Roland helps you guys get the gear together, and you all tie it up. And after about another hour and a half of like just moving stuff up and down the mountainside, everything ends up getting up there, and you guys are ready to make your ascent up there. And since you've got the skiff and everything set up, it's actually fairly easy to do. Who's all going up? Everybody's going up?
Well, Vic is.
Okay. Vic ties
Everyone else
himself
coming
up, pulls himself up, non-issue. The winch can take you no problem. The rest of you, everybody's going up?
Yeah.
I guess we've all agreed we're leaving the tank.
It's up to you,
There
kid.
will
You
be
want to take
more.
the tank, you can take it, but I'm not leaving the skiff behind.
Fine, I believe.
Roland says, I can show you where to drive that thing so you can meet us up. I'll give you some coordinates. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
All right,
Meet us there.
we'll do that then. I'll drive
Alright.
this thing up.
He directs you to the data pad, and he's like, okay, so, and then gives you the directions. Heading into the cave, it'll actually open up into a bit of a canyon. Follow the canyon until you see your first entrance to the left-hand side that's marked by like a couple of rocks. And then you just head up that way, drive for about an hour following this kind of ravine until eventually you'll meet a crossing section, and that's where you can meet up with the rest of the party.
We'll wait for you there.
So you guys make, the rest of you,
Yeah.
while he's walking over to the vehicle, you guys make your way all the way up to the top. It's a lot easier going up than it was going down, having a secure line and something to actually pull you up, so you make it up with no issue. What are you, so Cantios, you're getting in the vehicle?
Yep.
Okay. As
I
you...
feel weird about splitting the party.
Kid, you really need the vehicle. Look at it. It's pretty much on fire nearly.
You guys are like talking into your comlink right now because he's so far away in the middle of trying to get into the almost drivable wreckage field that
Not
is
gonna
this
be worth
vehicle.
anything. And Vic, how many hours would you have to spend on that to get it fixed?
I don't know. What
Can't
did
hear
you figure
you
out when it's
driving.
with his roll?
Cantios
Through canyon.
kind of hears the voices in his comlink, but isn't really listening as he looks up and he sees this just monstrous cannon that's mounted to the top of this wrecked piece of metal that is this vehicle. The cannon, though, still looks like it's in good shape. As you get inside and put the control cylinder in, you go to start the vehicle up. I want you to go ahead and do a atmospheric piloting check.
Hey Vic, did you bring that missile tube up with you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right here.
Ah, it's a shame the kids just got in it. Damn.
So Vic's going to start stowing all the extra weapons and stuff.
Three
in
success,
various
or
lockers
3
on the
advantage.
skiff.
Okay. As you start it up, the one broken fuel line in the back that sadly your mechanical inclined companion did not notice when he did his scan and actually rolled a despair begins to light on fire with a flame. The heat you could feel on your back instantly as the whole back end of this vehicle, including the high-powered cannon, just kind of gets engulfed in flames. Go ahead and well, what are you going to do first?
Oh, I'm gonna roll out now.
You're going to roll out? Okay, go ahead and do a coordination check to see how quickly
Alright.
you can get out of the vehicle as the weapon is caught in the flames.
-1 to setback.
Okay.
And 2 success, 3 advantage.
All right, so you do manage to get out of the vehicle just in time for the detonation. as the vehicle just explodes. The ammunition, the stored capacitors just goes off in a fiery blast of blues and purples for whatever kind of gases were stored inside that. The rest of you up at the top of the cliffside who are just now getting your gear and equipment into the skiff actually see these almost like sparkler-like effects fly up at your level. Some of them even land somewhere near the skiff. You have no idea from your current perspective what just happened.
Oh shit!
I'd like to take a look over the edge, see what's happened.
I'm just gonna reach up my comic and go, "You're the worst mechanic I know to date."
Wait, what's happened? What's happened to that tank of yours?
Perfectly drivable, he says. Nothing's wrong with it, he says. Explodes as soon as I put the keys in.
I said the turbo encabulator was in great shape. Did you touch anything else?
I turned the keys, and it exploded.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That's the world's smartest violin. Playing for you right there.
You know what? This is the way she would have wanted to go.
Get yourself up here, we're
leaving.
leaving.
All of flames.
Yep.
Get yourself up here, goddammit.
The enemies can't use it
Let's lower
anymore.
that rope for that kid.
All right. So he makes his way over. You guys lower the rope once again. Is there anything else you wanted to do down there, Cantios, before you made your way up?
I throw my hands up in prayer and say goodbye.
In almost this universal response, you see pop, pop, poof, as one of the last few bits of ammunition explode in the back, like signifying its final death throes.
Oh shit, Clem.
Clem's down.
Oh, Jesus.
Clem was next to
How
the
close
tank.
was Clem to all that?
She was next to the
Clem was just shut down next to the cantina. It's fine. Just power down.
Oh,
Kind of basking in the fiery light now of 2 fires that you guys have set at this little outpost.
all right, bye,
Did
Clem. If I get a big enough ship
suns,
to
2
come back,
fires.
I'll come pick you up. I promise. Been a good droid.
So you guys are starting to load up. Roland kind of sits there and he's like, "So, y'all are giving me a ride, right?"
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's pass a hand over to Roland. Come on up.
This particular vehicle hasn't even had a rocket shot through it. It's in remarkably good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not a lot of cover up here, but
Well,
not bad. Y'all
no.
haven't been through a Tatooine sandstorm, have you?
Well, we did. We were limited in choices.
I can
Considering we
understand that.
landed with pretty much just an escape pod, I think we're doing all right.
At the mention of a sandstorm, can I look around and make sure we're not going to be like driving into a sandstorm?
Go ahead and just
You
look
had to
around.
say
It is
something.
a sunny day in the middle of the afternoon. It's getting a little bit later in the afternoon. It's just a hot, dry Tatooine day right now. There's a little bit of a breeze, but nothing that would indicate a sandstorm.
They only had the version with the sunroof, unfortunately.
We had to pay extra for that.
Well,
No, it was the same price.
well, fair enough. Where you want all this gear? Kind of like. hands it to you.
Vic starts locking it away in different little boxes and lockers along the exterior.
Hang on, Vic.
But,
That heavy repeating blaster.
Yep. Hands the heavy repeating blaster to the ranger and says, "Why don't you get that thing mounted up on front, right there on that mount? Should be a standard."
I don't know, Vic. I think you're the best man for the job on this one. I could fire this thing. I can't set it.
All right.
I'll
Well,
help you lift it
so-
on. I'll assist you with helping it, lifting it in. I'll give you a hand.
Roland just
Okay.
kind of grabs his seat and watches you guys messing around with his cannon, just shaking his head.
I'll hop up on the seat next to him.
Cantios
So
is still
does,
looking over the cliff at the fire.
Does Vic need to roll on this since it was purpose made to take a mount? Or?
No, you're able to just attach it.
Okay.
Yeah,
There you go, and hook in that power right there and power it up. There we go.
Nice.
Clicks into place. It feels good. It feels firm. The rotation is very smooth, and it's like it was purpose built for a mount of this kind of weapon.
Nice. I like it. It's like Ranger grabs on it like a brand new toy. Oh, it's like Christmas.
Ranger rotates it. He's got both hands on the 2 firing angles. He's just like, yeah, this is great. This is great. The switches are there, easy to click. Okay, you're set.
All right, stow
Alright.
the simple rocket tube. I'm gonna go and swap out for this light repeating blaster if no one else wants it. I think I need to get this thing a go. Maybe Vic, we can have a swap around at the bayonet once we get back to town. I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, do you if you don't mind, I'll carry your old HK4.
I'll I'll do a lovely swap then.
Oh, right.
Oh, don't pick out anyone as we're going. There you go, man. Right. You need any details about it? The stun setting's on the side. This switch here.
This is the one you've been actually showing me how to shoot with. I kind of forgot all of it in the moment of excitement, but yeah, it shouldn't be too hard.
That'll be okay. We'll roll through some lessons when we get back.
All right. Sounds like a plan. And stow the rest of them, including the blaster rifle. And if nobody else wants this stuff right now, I'm just going to put it in this this chest over here.
All right, I'm gonna switch out my carbine for the rifle.
Okay, so you
This
take
is
the air rifle.
one.
Now, if I remember right, the rifle of this version,
Had a couple damage on it.
Had one damage.
long barrels, bullets. Yeah, so there we go. Got your damage, especially that heavy cannon. By the way, that's also damaged. So make sure when you're using that, you knock off 3 points of damage that it does off the top until it's repaired. That heavy cannon you guys just mounted to the front.
Right.
So it does 13 instead of I think the 15, or it does 12 instead of the 15.
Yeah.
Because math is hard. All right, so
I'll take a look at that later.
you guys are all mounted up. What are you doing?
Let's head back
Who's
to town.
driving this thing?
I'll
is
drive.
driving?
I'll drive.
I'll get on this mounted front cannon and just keep,
Oh, yeah,
keep my eyes on the swivel.
And Cantios has come away from the edge of the cliff and
Yeah,
joined
yeah.
us.
Yes. Kree, if you guys can keep an eye out, make sure that airspeeder doesn't come back.
Eyes in the skies.
Fine.
Mr. Roland, this skiff is leaving. You are welcome to come on aboard and come along with us.
Hey, he's already sitting up on one of the benches there. He's got his feet kicked up. He's like, yeah, I'm ready to go when y'all are. I'd like to get out of the sun.
Right.
Sooner's better than later. We've probably got, what, a good day's travel till we get back to Intha.
Did
Let's get outta here.
I'm assuming we managed to raise up Bonk as well?
Yeah, he couldn't leave without Bonk, so Bonk's sitting there next to him. Roland isn't going to go too far away without Bonk, so Bonk's sitting next to him. He's kind of his powered down state, and Roland's got one of his arms up, like leaning against him, almost if he's like a table.
Alright, take us back to Mos Entha.
Espa?
So-
Inta?
Entha.
Inta.
Entha.
So you guys try to follow the same path that you took back, which was pretty windy, but you know it's the at least the way that you came, so you can make it back. Go ahead and make a who's looking forward right now? You said Ranger, you're gunning up there.
I'm on the gun, so that'd be technically me.
I'm currently looking everywhere.
Those eyes in the skies.
And you're actively looking, so go ahead and roll a perception check. And for Vic, you're driving, so go ahead and do a vehicle piloting check.
Vehicle piloting.
1 success, 2 advantage for Ranger.
Okay.
And that would be piloting Blender.
What'd you
Nothing.
get? Oh.
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. Okay. So,
Literally
you guys
nothing.
thought it took a while to get out here for the distance last time. This time seems to be taking even longer, and as the day winds on, the night comes, the two suns set, you can see that almost yellow, golden, red colors from the last sun setting, and you know it is definitely getting dark. It's getting very hard to see. Thankfully, Vic can still see, at least a little bit of the ways out from your guys' vehicle. Do you want to keep pressing on through the night?
Yeah.
Guess so. Might as well.
Yeah, sorry guys. But given that the last time we drove this thing, since then we've tried knocking over a couple of towers and skims, and we've blown up a little bit of stuff, I might be trying to be a little more cautious.
I tell you what, Kentios, Curry, do you want to get some sleep while we're riding, and then we'll take
need to-
shifts.
You look over at Roland, he's just out completely.
He's no good.
Might as well.
Yeah.
All right, I'll wake someone in a couple of hours, get some rest. I don't know how that works for health or like a partial rest.
For those that are going to rest for the rest of the journey, you get a feeling that if they're going to sleep now. Go ahead and roll once again for your atmospheric flight to see how long the rest of the route is going to take.
Okay.
Now, while this journey has been going on,
2.1.
Go ahead.
I wanted Cree to be kind of chatting with Roland about the runners and like smuggling in real life rather than just in book.
Oh, okay. So you're having this whole conversation about who the runners are, and so you're just going to go ahead and get some information. Is that what you're doing on like how it actually works out here and what Roland can tell you about it? Okay, so he's surprisingly talkative for a man who probably shouldn't be sharing as much information as he does, but he kind of thinks of a lot of himself, and you use that a bit. Go ahead and roll a charm check. See how much you can get him to open up about the life of a smuggler.
Oh, charm, huh?
Mm-hmm. We're
All right.
measuring your ability to kind of guide the conversation to information that's pertinent, that may help you in the future.
Right. Ooh. Okay. One success, one advantage.
Okay, well, you had 2 threats. So the conversation takes a little minute, but eventually you do get to the point where Roland's actually pretty excited about telling you about some of the tales. You pick out a few bits of information that's probably not necessarily true or is exaggerated in telling of these stories, but you do end up gleaming quite a bit of information about the life of a smuggler, how smuggling works on Tatooine and the greater universe, and what really it means to be a smuggler. Some of the things that you learn about are it's much less glamorous than the novels that you had read in the library at home. It's not nearly this life of adventure that you kind of perceive it to be. It is though that same level of freedom, and the reason that it seems that Roland does his job not so much is that he loves that sense of travel, that sense of freedom, that he can go wherever he wants, rules be damned. And you do glean a little bit of information about kind of the code, and that there are rules to these things, and to break those rules is a serious offense.
All right.
So you do learn quite a bit about smuggling from talking with Roland in the next 9-hour journey. Those who
I
are
figured
rested,
that was from the camp to the point where we were going to start resting.
Okay, so that was that point. So now at this point, you guys have talked for a few hours. For future rolls, now you'll be able to roll about things like how smuggling works, just like Ranger could roll about possible threats on Tatooine, because you've gained this information from a source. Okay, so you guys make the rest of the journey. For those who were sleeping, go ahead and it's just like you had just come from a rest, a full rest. For those who are driving and keeping your eyes open, you have not. You do make it back into Intha, this time wee hours of the morning. The suns are just starting to rise. The city isn't even quite awake yet. You do see a couple of ships as you come into Intha, rising out of the starports, leaving for the morning's journeys. And you see a couple of ships coming in. You see a number of those skyhopper vessels that you had seen out there. You're not sure. There were no identifying marks that any of you noticed, so you could not tell whether or not those are the same ship. There are quite a few on this planet. You're just now very much more aware of it. As you make it into that same area of town that you made it in before, where do you guys want to go? What do you want to do?
Am I awake?
You all start to wake up from the sounds of the city, and everyone starts to chatter about, it's nice to be back.
I'll stick with the group for now. So we turn in some of the loot we got.
Well, we failed the bounty, so we may as well scrap that idea. I'll keep the wanted poster on me though, just in case, but that's gone.
Well, better luck next time, man. Maybe you guys will get a little better at it. Ranger looks at, Roland looks over at you, kind of just smiling.
After our bonding over how to be a smuggler conversation, I would like to exchange comlink info with Roland.
Like,
So
oh yeah.
in case you need help with the deadlock dude.
Well,
Yeah, Mr. Roland.
appreciate
we'd like
it.
to hear from you again. For one thing, it sounds like your bounty and our experiences are maybe dovetailing a little bit. Might be able to help each other out.
Yeah, that might be so. I'm getting, I'll say my list of friends on this planet's getting a little thin. but I appreciate it. Here's my comlink info. I'm gonna talk to my people and see if I can find anything more. And if I do need the help, and if y'all are looking for work, I might contact you. You never know.
Keep us in
Hey,
contact.
Mr. Roland, before you go, real quick, the other name that we've been given here, you might know since you're a little more of a local than we are, is Savin from Savin Salvage. You know anything about her?
The name, he kind of perks up at the name. He's like, yeah, I know Savin. She's a character. What do you want to know about her? She runs a salvage business, Savin Salvage.
Yep. We were given her name by the mayor of Mastakai, that Graham Ryle, and
He
said
kinda
that
laughs.
she might be able to. Yeah.
Gran gave her.
You know the guy?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I know the two of them. Yeah. That's if you're looking for equipment, if you're looking for information, she's gonna be kind of a source. Don't piss her off, and you should be.
Yeah.
all
He
right.
said something about don't double cross her, which we're not planning on doing.
Or
so.
talk about her leg?
Don't look at the leg. Don't even look at the leg.
Don't
She's a little
even look at the leg.
little touchy about the whole leg situation, but funny enough. So
The
Graham
leg.
sent you, huh? All right then.
Wait, has Graham and her got a little bit of history?
He kind of hops out of the skiff, and he's like, "You'll probably find out." As he walks away.
God damn it.
Bye.
Bye. And he disappears into the crowd.
All I heard was ask about her leg.
Don't ask about the leg. Right, how about we go and sell off some of this stuff? Go and
Yeah, we
But
never,
do you know
we
what?
never
I
went
need
to that
some
weapons
sleep.
shop.
Are there places where we can like rent a house for a week?
didn't we
There.
pay out the inn for a week?
You guys still have the inn over at the Snarky Sarlacc. You did pay up for the day, and you could find out if it's still available. You have been gone for a little over a day. That's been too long, and you can pay up to have that place for longer. Just from how these places work. As long as you pay your rent, you're probably good to go. You can definitely find places like safe houses and whatnot. If you can, the better you roll, basically, the better you can find one that'd be secure.
Yeah,
You
now
can do
that we've
anything you
got
want.
stuff,
Speaking
thinking
of
we
Graham,
might
maybe
want
we
a
oughta-
more secure place to put it.
Did we dish out the 400 credits? Should we just take 100 each?
I'd like to-
600, and we each get 150.
Oh, it's just,
Yeah, and I would like to definitely lock up this droid body. I mean, it could be valuable.
You guys have been cruising through this part of town with this decapitated droid body, basically.
It's
I mean,
underneath
it's
the rail.
Tatooine. It's normal.
Okay, so if I were to try to find us a place that's more secure, what kind of role would that be?
That would be I would say that would be a streetwise check.
Well, and we could also ask that guy Edvar and Max if they know of any temporary accommodations.
might as well ask the local sources. Best way to find out
Since,
information.
Since I apparently incinerated the top half of our bounty, I could maybe pick up some work for Max and maybe make a little bit of money. And
Okay,
while we're
did we want to go
trying
talk to somebody
track
then?
down somebody else.
You guys are right
I'll go
now
have a
in the
look.
territory, because you took the same route into town this time on your skiff as you left, and the first time you had come in. So you're kind of cruising down the same areas you've been. You're near getting farther into town and away from the lower end that you guys first passed through. The low income kind of shanty bits of the town, and now gotten into the proper city. You're coming up on Edvar's place. Max's is a little bit farther inward toward the starports, heading north. Where would you like to go?
Don't we have a map for Lacentha?
We had an image. It's not really so much as a map.
Oh,
It's over here, though. We can pull that up. Whoop.
might help.
I say let's
the
head
stream.
back to Edvar's.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Let's head back to Edvar's, regroup. Let's have a rethink of ideas, because the bounties have gone out the window. Sounds like
Okay,
Roland's
but-
going to let us know about Deadlock, so I think we'll need to wait on that, unless we can find out any more information about ourselves. I could always journey over to the bounty hunter terminal again and find some light work, but Other than that, we need to get rid of this
Yeah,
loot.
maybe see if we can find out any more about this organization that Roland was talking about.
Ah, you mean the Grey Blades?
Yeah.
And I have an email to send. Message.
Yeah, I need to find a message to send it to. I think there was one across the street from the Sarlacc, wasn't there?
And I have to find a doctor.
They're
Oh,
pretty.
yeah, we should probably drop the kid off at the medical center, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that first.
Roland still has a gaping hole in his arm as well, doesn't he?
So you guys going to the med center?
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Okay, so you travel on to where you were described where the med center was, and I think two of you actually had seen it last time you were in town while you went on your walk in the night.
We were walking around.
And you make it up to the med center up on the corner. And you head on inside. Some of the medical professionals. You've been in medical centers before, but never one on Tatooine. It's similar, but there's definitely a different vibe. When you walk in, you're greeted by a droid who first thing asks do you have credits, and what do you need fixed? So now you kind of get the sense immediately of what the priorities are. Who is getting healed up?
First, I'm going to ask how much credits will this cost. I'm going to show the gaping holes in my chest.
The droid, two little, almost like binocular devices kind of fling in front of the droid's eyes as it zooms in and looks at the wounds. Not really shocked at the fact that you just whipped out a bunch of blaster bolt wounds all over your chest, but more like this is just another occurrence on Tatooine that it's fairly used to. In the background, you see back to tanks bubbling and medical personnel walking back and forth. Some of them hurried, some of them with a little bit of blood on them. This will cost you, the droid says. About 4 hours at a back to tank and about 350 credits.
Worth it.
Go get yourself healed up, kid.
Alright, I'm going to hand it 350 credits.
Okay, you hand over 350 credits, knock that off of your income.
Total credits, yeah.
And the droid kind of like gestures back. Two other droids and one Rhodian walk out. One of them is in a lab coat, a medical coat, and guides you to one of the back to tanks and gets you set up. And it'll take a few hours for this to take effect.
Hey, kid, do you want us to pick you up, or do you want to just meet us back at the Sarlacc?
I can walk.
I'll buy you a drink. It's the least we can do.
As the actual doctor gets a quick look at the wounds, she's like, "This is going to take at least 5 hours."
Rest up, kid. We'll come. Just come link us when you're ready.
Will do.
So, as they leave the medical bay, is anybody else getting healed? Are they done?
I just need some rest and some very minor healing, so...
You do have a
thought
crit
you had-
still.
yeah.
Yes, I need to go get mine done. So I guess I should go in there as well.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, you do have
You
a
gotta-
hole, I believe, blown
In
through.
your arm.
Hello.
So you turn around and you go, "Oh, right,
so-
I've got a horrible wound on the side of my lower half." And show
Oh,
the,
yeah.
what do you
More remembering.
do? You show
It's
the
kind of a-
droid or just ask?
Yep, let's go and get this done. I need to go and get some work done. None of
Hey,
my
Ranger,
face.
you
Already pretty
A little
enough.
Botox here, a little,
The
nip
droid-
and tuck over
this
here.
time the droid like zooms in and looks and takes one finger and kind of pokes into the wound.
No, not there.
And you can see it like remove its finger. Now you realize that there's like a measuring device built into the apparatus in its arm that it just poked you with, and realizes that the wound goes all the way through. It says, this will be 250 credits,
Yes, please.
and we can see you in about 2 hours. So this
That's
is going.
lovely.
Doctor's office waiting room.
So you're going to be there for about 7 hours, because you're basically waiting for Cantios to finish so they can free up a tank.
Hey.
God damn it.
Cantios,
I'm going-
at this point, you're half naked, and they're starting to submerge you into the tank, and they're putting the respirator inside your mouth so that you can start healing those wounds faster.
Hooray.
Okay.
Living.
You can knock off those wounds
For
that
now.
we healed. What are the rest of you doing?
I'd like to see if they have any stim packs for sale.
The droid doesn't really answer the question so much as you ask it, but just points over to what looks like a vending machine, basically, with different healing
Thank
things that
you.
you can pull out. Just kind of waves
Alright.
you away.
Yeah. Okay. What do I see in the vending machine?
Vending machine has bandages and different medicines, some for common diseases on Tatooine, some for social diseases, and some med packs for sale. And the med packs are
Stim packs?
going for 50 credits apiece.
Stim packs or the
Stim
medical
packs,
package?
not med packs. Stim
Okay.
packs, excuse me.
Oh, wow, that's not too bad.
I would like to stock up, replenish my little first aid bag with bandages, and let's go with 3 stim packs.
With how many stim packs?
3.
They,
Oh, I thought you said 30.
It's a
30.
serious markup on there. That's normally around 25 credits. Oh, well.
As you
Well,
type
we've
in,
been going through them.
the supplies kind of get distributed to you. You see a little robotic arm grabbing the things that you need and packaging them for you. And the whole thing ends up costing you about, you said 3, so it's going to just be
3
the,
stim packs would be
150.
the 150, the bandages, and do we have like antidotes for poison or like curing diseases?
There is a painkiller slash, it's kind of like an all-purpose poison antidote. It is for sale. They only have 1, and they are 200 credits. And there are warnings labeled all over it that this may or may not, help depending on what the poison is, and has a list of things that it actually works on. The list is extensive, though, far longer than you could ever spend reading it, as it's a digital list that just keeps on scrolling and doesn't stop. The universe is a big place.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up too.
Okay, pick up one of those.
So what does that come to? 150 for the stim packs, 200 for the antidote.
And the other thing, we'll just
3.
call those just small objects. We're not going to go for cost
Yeah.
on those. So, okay. Get all that written down. Anybody else do anything here at the med center?
Yeah, Vic's gonna buy 1 stim pack as well.
Okay. You go ahead and throw your credit chips in there, and you get your stem pack.
Hey Ranger, so what do you want us to do while you're here? You want us to go see if we can find some lodging, or
Ranger's
maybe
currently
sell off
flicking
some of
through
those extra weapons?
one of them doctor's magazines that's just always placed there. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Right, what gear we got? Let's have a quick review. Alright, we got that, got some armor, haven't we? Got the simple rocket tube. Hang on to that, that's gonna be useful.
Oh yeah,
I can sell that
No,
old
no.
Tuscan rifle
yeah. If we can get
And-
anything for it.
and the spare carbine.
I actually might hang on to the carbine. I might tinker with that a little bit. And
There's not
see
much
if-
else to sell. Just
Well,
Go
I've
and
got
see
a
what you can
couple of holdout pistols, blasters that I might sell, but
go to the shop, see what you can find out, see what else is for sale. I mean, anything else extra you think we might need, just get, and I'll pay you back for whatever you think.
yeah.
we'll,
Unfortunately, we didn't get that. Feel really bad that we didn't get that bounty, because
You know, if it
I know
as
you
much as the
guys really-
others, as much as the others tease you, it's not my first time for losing a bounty. It's actually quite a common thing. All it takes is a wrong blaster right to the face that can ruin the thing.
well,
Don't feel
maybe
bad
we need
about
to-
it.
Maybe we need to go through some more shooting lessons before I get on one of those big guns again.
Don't worry about it. We'll go for it later.
Right.
Head to the shop, see what you can sell, see what you can find, and then we'll. I don't know, see what you can find. Ask around town. Maybe ask back at the canteen, and then I guess once the kid's done in there, we'll once I'm done, we'll regroup and then we'll rethink our situation.
All right, sounds like a plan. We'll lock them up in the skiff, but sounds good. Give us a call if you need anything.
All right. He picks up the magazine, starts flicking through it. Oh, that's interesting.
Magazine, by the way, that he's looking at is like a what would be considered a car magazine now, but it's all speeders and Twi'leks like laid out on the different bikes and stuff.
Oh damn!
Speeders and Twi'leks magazine. I like it.
There you go.
Oh, that's somebody's daughter. Oh god.
All right, so you guys, welcome to Tatooine. So, what are you guys doing?
Hey, Kree, I think we actually had a pretty good rapport there with Max. Why don't we go ask him first? Nothing else
What
he
are
might
we
be able to
asking
tell
him?
us where we could. Huh?
Oh, I needed to send a message.
Oh,
Very
that's right. Let's
important,
go to
before
the,
I forget
let's go to
again.
okay, yeah, let's go to the comm center. I think it was back this way.
You guys head out of the medical center, and you kind of backtrack to where you saw this large communications building. It has what looks like a large antenna-like dish at the top of it. Inside, though, as you walk up to the large windows, you see it's almost like a coffee shop / internet bar. It's got blue screens that are on all around. Some people are having conversations with what looks like family members. Holographic images are flickering in front of them. Some of them are just typing out on keypads messages that are going to be sent long distances across multiple star systems. And you see a listing of pricing for what you need to use for, like the distance traveled for the message, the holonet. It's like a holonet cafe, basically.
They got stimulants here too. Let me try. What's this coffee thing?
There's this Jawa juice coffee written on the side. There's a variety of
I
like
wonder if that's made with real Jawas.
Oh, I doubt it. But if it's like the soup, it might be pretty good.
All right. I would like to sit down at an open console
Okay.
while Vic peruses the menu, I guess.
Sounds
Vic's gonna sit down at the table and see if there's any waiters, or
And I've
if
got,
there's an order console there at the table.
Yeah, there's
How
a guy
does-
behind a bar, so you go over there and you have to wait in line a bit because there's a few people waiting. As you see somebody kind of really angrily, Kree, yelling at a blue flickering image of, I need that money now. I don't care how hard it is to get through the Imperial blockades. We got to get those supplies. And you can't really hear what the other person on the other side of the comlink is saying, but you see the flickering and then it shuts down. You see the older gentleman, the species you're not familiar with, but he's kind of covered in hair. Yells at the screen a little bit and then just kind of walks away. There is now one open, and you can slip in there and you start, activating and logging in a bit.
All right. So I would like to type out a message to the Deegan Institute of Explorations in my Espa.
Okay. So you begin typing up this message. Did you just want to keep that on the down low, or were you going to let anybody know what it says other than who you sending it to? Totally up
Well,
to you.
I sent you, GM, what I wanted to type up, but I did want to add in the materials of theirs that we found at the Squill King hideout.
Are you giving them contact information to contact you back?
Yes.
Okay, so you type up your message, you add the new information, and you send it. You get a few seconds go by, a few minutes go by, and eventually you get this flash that says message received. Nothing is sent back immediately.
I didn't expect there to be.
And there's any other business? Also, minus 15 credits for the message sent.
15?
Yep.
Expensive.
Noticing that stuff is expensive in this town.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that was the biggest thing that I wanted to do. So, if Vic has, I'll kind of glance over my shoulder to see if Vic has gotten his Jawa juice beverage yet.
You have indeed gotten your Jawa juice or whatever beverage that you saw on the listing.
He went ahead and got a double Jawa Java.
I like it.
Good. And,
It's got like 3 straws coming out of it for some reason. The straws are weirdly
Straws.
bent.
who puts a straw in a drink?
And then if he needs the seat, I'll kind of like sit in it and save it for him so nobody else gets it before he gets there.
Thank you. Creed, you want anything?
Can I try a sip of
Java
your-
juice? Yeah. You know, it's. He said that the guy said it's. If you have a little bit of the Java juice first thing in the morning, it makes you go utini.
All right, I'll take a sip from one of the 3 straws, whichever one seems most appropriate.
You got to feel like that the straws are meant for different species, some even with multiple heads. So it's kind of like covering all of the basis on how you can drink a drink in a starport like this. But But okay, so you try it out. It's this weird, almost grass-like taste that it's pretty pungent smelling as well. But you immediately feel what would be only described as like a massive caffeine rush. Your energy level shoots up from however tired you were before. Go ahead, for everybody who's drank this, remove 2 stress if you have any, or strain.
Okay.
Vic doesn't have any strain, but he's starting to move here. He's been driving all night, but man, feeling pretty good.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
You feeling real good?
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So he's actually I talked to you guys about this, but we never had a chance to send this. But remember I was telling you about my the guy that I know back on Oyum. I was wondering if he might have some contacts out in this area that might be able to give us a hand. What do you think? You think we ought to send him a Gmail?
Yeah, send him a message.
A Galnet mail?
I mean, they're
Yeah.
really kind of expensive to send messages here. So if it's got to go long distance, it might cost a pretty penny or pretty credit. Are credits
let's
pretty?
see.
I don't even know if credits are pretty. What do these credits look like? Who came up with credits? Oh my gosh! Do you? She's a tad caffeinated.
She's kind of just like speeding up as she's saying this. Like the caffeine is just really starting to hit her, and you may actually roll a perception check, Vic.
Okay.
You know,
Don't
back
know what I'm
home, we had this
perceiving,
really great way of sending messages. I mean, it didn't cost nearly as much as this Holland. Everything here seems to cost so much money. I mean, gosh, those stem packs were so incredibly expensive.
Success.
But we've been going through them, so I figured we should probably get some.
You get the feeling that Keldor and caffeine don't really go well together. As she drinks and sips on this drink that you keep letting her try, her speech patterns get faster and faster and faster.
Yeah,
She's just,
hey, Cree, I think that might be enough for now. You know, pace
Oh, but
yourself.
it tastes
pace
so
yourself.
good.
Oh,
Come
tell
on
you
now.
what, I'll-
I had this really great conversation with this Rodian this one time.
Yeah,
It was
Vic,
fascinating.
Cree, roll a resilience check.
Bugger. Oh man,
I'm just
that
sitting
was
there in the doctor's office. He's where he can hear this. Just like what?
You just hear this high-pitched chatter.
What's it? Looking out the door like. What,
I did get a
Oh.
success.
Is that a bird?
You didn't get a success?
I did.
Oh,
One
you got
success.
One success. Okay, so you feel for a moment that you've got all the energy in the world and that you could do everything right now and everything is so interesting and you're just processing information so quickly, and then almost suddenly the caffeine buzz wears off and you feel like you're almost going to go into this deep state of just, oh man, like you had just run all night long, but you seem to kind of shake it off. You only rolled a single threat.
Yeah. We might want to watch those.
Tired.
Yeah, we might want to watch those again for you.
What was I saying?
I only caught about every other word, but it was deep, whatever you were saying.
Huh. Oh, I'm gonna go sit down. I'll be over here.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be right there.
And now this chair is freed up for you, Vic. You have a chance to sit down to send out your message.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna check and see how much it'd cost to send a galactic mail message from Tatoonine to Oyum.
All right, so you check it out, and it's going to be about 30 credits to do so if you want it instantaneous.
I mean, it doesn't have to be instantaneous. What's the other option?
The other option is actually scratched out, but it was data burst. So apparently they're not allowed to do that anymore for some reason.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess so. All right. So he's gonna send a galactic mail to Adam.
Okay. Do you just gonna send it on the down low, or which is fine?
I can read it out if you like, or
It's up to you. It's up to you. It's your message.
okay. So yeah, to Uncle Adam with the adam.smith at the shotrocketbar.com. This is from Victor. Uncle Adam, greetings from lovely Tatooine. I ran into some people I can only assume are associated with a certain organization that we used to know. One I was contacted by shortly before our departure from Oyum. Apparently, I and 3 other individuals were captured through means unknown and were set to be sold into what appeared to be some form of slavery by a group called the Gray Blades, or associated with. But our captivity was cut short when some business competitors, I'm not going to specify who, interrupted our journey. In the confusion, we were able to escape to this planet, which is Tatoonine. While my newfound companions have proven themselves to be quite true, I find myself without resources and information. I have no idea how I was captured, so I don't know if anyone's looking specifically for me. We're short on resources, and we're even shorter on information, and I think we're going to be stuck on this world for the near future. If you have any contacts on Tatooine that might be able to help out with information on local politics or any of these groups involved, or is maybe looking for a small crew for some projects, please feel free to pass on my contact info to them. We'll be in Mos Inta for the near future. I'll know that from you if you use the name of the drink that you served me at the bar so many years ago. By the way, crowbar you helped me obtain has been a very nice fulcrum. Your friend, Vic.
All right, so you send the message. You see the setting icon kind of come up, and it takes a lot longer than Kree's message did. It's kind of like processing and sending. And I just sent you a whisper, so.
Oh, it's like on Critical Role when he whispers.
Yeah, this is how we whisper.
Oh.
Okay, so finally the message is sent, and you wait for a moment, kind of not really expecting a reply right away, but you never know. And suddenly, a message pops up on the screen, and all the message says is, "Those ion blasters were delicious. Meet my friend at the Fallen Star Hotel and Casino, High Rollers Table, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning." And that's it.
All right. So if this is a live connection, it'll say, sounds good. Hope to talk to you again soon, Adam. Signs off.
Okay. So, the message is sent, you sign off. You two have wrapped up your business here, enjoying your drink.
Yeah, I gotta look over and see if Kree's still awake, or if she's passed out at the table. Yep, she's still awake.
I'm still awake.
Hey, Kree, how do you feel about going out and finding out some lodging?
I think that sounds like a really good idea.
All right.
Oh,
So, I found some interesting news.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. You first. My
No,
part.
random thought.
Okay.
Just seems
So,
distracted for a second, and then she focuses back on Vic.
Okay.
So, I got in touch with that old friend I was talking about, the one over
yeah?
on Oyum, the one that helped me get our way.
Okay.
He says that he's got a friend here in Mos Inta that we could meet tomorrow. I'll talk a little more about it when we're not in public.
Okay. So we should probably find some place to rest for tonight.
Yeah. Maybe see if the old Edva still has some rooms available, or unless you think we ought to go check
Yeah,
with
that's
Max.
not far away. I'm just kind of afraid that Max is gonna charge us for information.
Yeah, we did kind of take him for this skiff, so.
What do you
I
wanna do?
think if let's go back to the snarky Sarlacc.
All right, so you guys
Dune lizard bacon.
head on back, and as you get closer and closer to the building that you've been there before, you can smell that particular, and you now know what that smell is. The smell of cooking, some might even say burning lizard. You make it up to the front door, and you walk in, and you see
go
Edvar
ahead and-
sitting behind the bar.
Park the skiff around back where we had parked the land scooter before.
Yeah, that's what I figured you guys would have done. So you park it.
And
it's-
everything's kind of like locked down, so nobody can walk away with anything.
Yeah, all the
as much as you can.
yeah. Hits the remote. Bleep bleep.
Bloop, bloop.
So what
Fair
is
enough.
it that we can't lock down? Or like lock up and put away?
Well, let's see. Can we lock the rifle into the mount?
The large cannon is locked into the mount. You get the sense that for where you've put the vehicle, which is next to where you guys parked the swoop bikes and the speeder before, people normally don't go messing around back here. That being said, it is an open-aired vehicle. You do have all of your gear and equipment kind of locked in the trunk in the center that you guys have been using to sit on. What would you like to do? I mean, it's as locked down as you can be, but it is Tatooine, so...
Mm-hmm.
Is the droid body put away? All right. How about you wait here, Vic? I'll run inside, see if they've got a room
All right.
or two.
From where you've parked,
Yeah.
you have noticed that there is like a rear, because you're kind of like on the side portion of the rear of the building now when you go to park, and then you kind of walk around the front. You do notice that there is a couple of doors that are backdoor entrances to this building. So,
Yeah, I'll just run inside real quick. Because we really didn't get much out of this last thing except items, so I don't want to lose anything. I'll be right back.
All right.
okay.
So I go
Gonna-
inside.
So you go
Through
inside,
that
you
with
see
the
the
back
bartender
doors.
behind the bar. It's being, middle of the afternoon at the moment. It's not that busy. There's only a few customers kind of scattered around, a couple sitting at the bar, and you see Edvar sitting there talking with him as his chef in the back. You can see him moving around, cooking something.
All right, Edvar, hello again.
Wiley, welcome back. I'm
Oh,
cooking up some
that-
sweet dune lizard steaks for y'all.
Oh, it smells so good. I could find the place by that delicious smell. Do you have any rooms for tonight?
Still got your room available if you want it. Nobody's taken it up yet.
Fantastic.
If
We
y'all
will
want a
take-
room for us to hold, though, you got to pay up front. You got a week long rate if you like.
I think we'll just take the for tonight right now, if that is all right.
All right, same cost as it was last time, and I'll get you some of those steaks. You want them now, or want them to bring them to your room?
We've got a couple of our companions who will be joining us later, so we will definitely want some of those steaks later.
Alrighty. And he
Okay.
kind of just gestures toward where the room is. You know where it is.
Yeah, so I'm gonna rush back outside to Vic and say, all right, grab what isn't nailed down and bring it in with us.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna maybe put the C9 set up here and rig it up with a battery and a comlink, but yeah, maybe that's better.
Well, if we bring his head and the body in, you can work on putting that together while our friends
No,
are
I'm gonna
in
need a
back to
workbench.
tanks.
Nah, I'm trying to attach a head back to a body. Like, it's more than just sticking it to the dashboard. It's gonna take a little bit of time.
Okay,
So maybe
whatever
maybe
you
in the
think is
future.
best.
All right. So yeah, Vic's gonna unload what can be unloaded.
And you're carrying it in?
I don't think we're gonna carry in like the big gun, but like the armor and the droid body. Would somebody steal that?
Droid body's gonna be hard to cart off, and I don't know.
I mean, we did it, so it can be done.
Okay.
I am suspicious.
Never mind.
What do you walk
the
it in with?
vessel is carrying a headless droid through the middle of the thing.
You carried in all the gear that you got from the mission that you just went on? And a droid over one shoulder? Most of a droid?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys start walking through the front door. Weapons, rifles, a rocket launcher, and a droid body slung over Vic's form. As you get through the front door, you see Edvar kind of jaw drop a bit. He's seen some shit on Tatooine, but he's never seen a basilisk carry that kind of
And
hardware into a
I've
room.
got C9's head under my arm.
You've got
I'm just gonna
C9's
give him a
head?
jaunty wave.
With the hand, with the head?
No. The head under one arm. I'll wave with
Oh,
the other
okay.
hand.
It's like, hey, whoa. I don't care what y'all are carrying or what you're doing, but go through the back door with stuff like that. And he's particularly looking at the rocket launcher under your arm. There are
Oh,
some things
sorry.
that go a little bit beyond even Tatooine's level of acceptance, and that is a military-grade rocket. So,
All right, we'll remember that. Thank you.
We'll unlock it for you. Jesus. And he looks over at one of the patrons, and he's like, they've got to be new. I mean, what the shit?
I'm gonna
Waste of the
have
waitress to go around
a
and open
whisper
the door.
to Vic. Hey Vic, I kind of spent a lot of my credits on medical supplies. Can you cover the room?
Yeah, that was like what, 40 a night?
Yeah, it was 40 a night.
Did you ask Edvar if we could get like a discount for a weekly rate or something?
I did, but I didn't ask him what it was because I don't have the credits for any of it.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, we'll carry this down, and I'll go pay Edvar and see if we can maybe get a good weekly rate or something.
All right, cool.
So you do have a conversation with him, and he tells you that, for brevity's sake, that a weekly rate would be 100 credits a week.
All right, we can do that. There you go.
He's like, oh, thanks. So we'll make sure. I saw you carried in all the stuff. I don't ask questions. We get all kinds around here. Just promise me you're not going to use any of that working gear, he says, a little bit slower, in my establishment, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
No.
We
Basically
don't.
what happened in my last place.
Yeah, no, Edvar. You know how it is.
Oh, that sounds like
you never
that's
make
a
a mess
story.
where you're going to be working. So,
All right, well,
always
he's
important.
like, nobody will go in there. I'll see
Besides-
to it.
All right, thanks, Edvar. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And when those guys come back, I think we're really ready for those steaks.
And he looks
Had a
at you right
heck of a
before you
day.
walk away, and he goes, hey, now, you got to promise me, though, there's not going to be any Imperial troubles. Because some of that stuff, you know what I mean.
No, we're not interested in any Imperial involvement.
All right. Fair enough. Your credits are good. He takes the credits and just kind of shakes his head like, man, what am I doing with my life? While the patron in front of him is like, what do you think they do? It's like, don't ask stupid questions you don't want the answers to. So there you go.
I would like to go through that data pad I picked up a little bit closer.
Okay.
So, as we settle into the room, I'd like to pull out the Squill King's data pad.
Oh, the Squill King's so bad. Okay.
Yeah.
And
See if there's anything I can, like, send off to Mostake to let them know. Like, if I can glean who may have been the inside man.
All right, go ahead and
I don't know
roll
what you're looking at there, but I'm gonna call Ranger and make sure he knows that we're back here at the Sarlacc pit.
Good plan.
So you go ahead and call Ranger. Let him know that you guys you're still in the same room. Go ahead and roll a. Let's do.
Me?
Yeah, you, because you're looking through that data pad, right? Trying to find any hints at maybe where this information came from or anything that would be pertinent for the leadership of Mostake, the city that you
Anything I
had
can
helped in the
pass
south.
along.
Yeah, anything that you can pass along, because they obviously have somebody under that may be betraying them. That would probably be. You know, for this one, I would go with one of the knowledge checks. So whichever one you think is the closest to what you're trying to find, and then let me know which one you choose. Like, what angle are you looking at this data pad in, other than just going through all the information? And then roll for that
Lord.
skill and see what you get.
Well, since this is a criminal organization, and it's talking about criminal activities, I think I'm gonna go with Underworld.
Okay.
So that's gonna take away 2 setbacks to that, and 5. Okay.
All right.
I am clever.
You are. That intelligence you've got. Jeez. That
Alright.
intellect. Excuse me. Intellect.
Intellect.
Go ahead and make your roll. All the fingers.
2 success and 2, 4, 6 advantage.
You look
was
over
so
the information, and you don't really glean any more information than you already have. Somebody, you get the feeling, has been feeding the Squill Kings, because this information is far too accurate. There are times, shipments, deliveries, routes, from a number of outposts, but the most of them come from Mostake, and are bound for it or leaving it, or shipments, and medical supplies and food supplies coming in. But you can't glean any more information off of it than that.
All right, then I'd just like to give a comm link to Graham and just kind of give him the information.
What you looking at over there?
Oh, this is the data pad that I got from the Squill Kings, the place where we blew the guy up. This last time.
Yeah. What'd you find on it?
Now, it's been a few hours since you started doing this research. At this moment is when you, Ranger, and Cantios actually make it back to the bar and start making your way to the room. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to go over and tell him what I found, kind of show him the data pad, the numbers, and the shipments, and the information.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I can see what you mean. Yeah, they got an
I
inside
thought
guy
Graham
there.
could use this information to maybe figure out...
Let me take a look real quick and see if I can pick anything out. Maybe something from the tech details?
Sure. I mean, if you think there's something like physically in the data pad, sure, go ahead. I hand it over to Vic.
Possible.
Okay. You're looking. What are you looking for?
You want me to do a computer check to see if we can find some information, or underworld check?
From what you've gleaned, Cree, you think you've gotten all the information that you're going to find out, but you can try. What are you trying to, like, it's just a bunch of shipping times and information. So you're looking for a pattern, but like, is there anything else that you're trying to find out? What skill are you trying to apply to this particular?
Vic's going to actually try and hack the data pad and see if he can break open if there's any encryption and see if there's any more information that's hidden inside it.
Oh, okay. So you're diving a little bit deeper. So that would be a computer check then. See if there's just any irregularities with, like, how much storage is in there. Go ahead and make a roll.
Or maybe even like a hidden drive on the pad that has some more information that we could help maybe identify who this person is.
Go ahead and roll.
1 success, 4 advantage.
You don't find anything. There's nothing else there. Just some place that he was storing some information.
All right.
Best of your knowledge.
We definitely need to let Graham know this, but again.
That's to the best of your knowledge. That's what you.
Okay. We definitely need to let Graham know about this, but we need to do it quietly so that whoever is in his organization doesn't know.
There's a little bang on the door. Honeys, we're home.
Oh, hey, how was your day at school? I mean, at the doctor.
Oh, do you know what? Emery just stretches like, oh, do you know what? A couple of hours in the back to tank. That's the best thing.
Cantios walks in behind you, and you can see that his long hair is, like, matted down and still wet from the tanks.
Oh, hey, what's up, kid? How you feeling now? Feeling better, Hub?
Cantios, you there?
Kid?
I think
He's feeling
out.
a bit. He's feeling a bit. He's still trying to get some of the back to tank out of his lungs.
You can see him, like, trying to dig out the stuff out of his ear, and he's just kind of walks back over to his bunk and flops down. It's just like,
give us some time. He'll be back. He'll be back with us in a bit.
So we got some interesting news for you, Ranger.
Oh, what you got?
Well, 2 things. We went up and we found a...
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Kid,
you
you
cough
feeling
up
all right?
rest of
You
that
feeling a
shit?
little better now?
Little bit of a hangover from the back to.
Like you get a big whack on the back. I'll give you a big whack on the back here. Like, get it out. Come on.
Right.
It's coughing.
So, important thing is Edvar's got some dune lizard steaks waiting for us when you guys got here.
Ranger's eyes light up. Oh man,
I'll
really?
let him know that we can let him know that we're ready for those.
Oh, I love that stuff.
He said he would deliver him the room. I went ahead and rented this room for a week, so we had somewhere to store stuff.
I think that'll be enough.
Edvar said just to try to keep things low key. I think the rocket launcher walking through the front door may have freaked him out a little bit.
You brought the rocket launcher in this room?
Yeah, I didn't really want to leave him in the skiff unattended.
Only Vic would remember the rocket launch.
All right, well,
and
as long as
And we got the headless droid body set up
the
in the
droid
corner
body and the droid head may have had something to do with it too.
with the
Did
head
no
sitting
one
in its
see-
lap.
Jesus Christ.
at least keep it low key. I mean, not walking around the street with a rifle is one thing, but a rocket launcher?
And a dead droid.
That's why we brought it into the room.
It was mostly underneath the droid.
Not on the
I mean, I don't
street.
know.
At least it's safe. At least it's safe. No, don't matter. Don't matter. At least it's safe. Doesn't matter.
So anyway, Edvar, we knew we got the room for a week. He managed to give us a little bit of a cut rate on it. I know it cost us 40 for the night before, but we managed to get it for 100 for the week. I've already paid him ahead of time.
Ah, nice one. Excellent.
And so we were going. Cree over here found a data pad over at the cantina. You want to tell a little bit about that?
Well, it's got a lot of shipment information. This is what I think what the Squill Kings were using to hit supply lines and things like that. You can see it's got all the times and where things are going, and what is included in the shipments. And I thought that perhaps Graham could use this information. I couldn't find anything that pointed to any particular person who was doing anything, but he might be better.
Also worthwhile, maybe handing over to Graham and the Mos Entha PD. I'm pretty sure Mos Entha must have felt the hardships of the Squill Kings. Maybe we can earn a little bit of cash out of this information.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, maybe make a copy of the data off of it and then send that to Graham in a squirt. And
I
then
was
we could
just
hand
gonna
over the
call him
pad.
on the phone and like tell him.
Yeah,
I
but
said
that's a lot
Los
of
Santos
information.
PD would have no reason to believe that what we have is true.
I have no
don't.
reason to think that we were Squill Kings.
And Blitz, you know that they have no reason to care
Good point.
from your time living in these fringe worlds, that they've got enough to deal with, and they're always understaffed, underpaid, and that's why there's
That's why
bounty
they hire
hunters.
Bounty hunters.
That's where
Yeah,
you
it's
used to
true.
make
Maybe
your
they
money.
just-
So,
Maybe they wouldn't care. Send it down to Graham.
would we be able to get it? No, I guess somebody would have to be requesting this information to put a bounty out for it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's send down to Graham for a while, but keep a copy for ourselves just for future reference.
Yeah. Alright. So I'm gonna call Graham on the comm link and relay this information to him.
You pull out your comm link, and having exchanged your contact information with the leader of Mos Take, Graham, who is the lead mining foreman / governor / like city leader, you call up the comm link, and it continues to beep and beep and beep, waiting for someone to pick up. Eventually, someone does pick up, and it's a familiar voice. Hello? And it's Dr. Pag's voice.
Dr. Pag, this isn't your comm link. What are you doing?
No, it's not. Give me that. And you hear somebody like yanking the comm link. You hear a lot of rustling, and the voice
Hi,
you
Dr.
hear
Pag.
is now, hello? And you hear another familiar voice, but it's not Graham. It's Lewis Ty.
Hi, Lewis.
Like,
Where's Graham?
yeah, we're kind of in the middle of something right now. They took Graham.
Who took Graham?
Group of angry-looking guys. They're not squills, I can tell you that. Oh God, please don't kill me. I'm just the messenger here. We're trying to figure out what happened, but we saw 5 men, all with weapons, and these guys were kitted out, and they took him out. He was in rough shape. They dragged him out of his office. They looked like they beat the hell out of him, and they just took off.
Are the rest of us hearing this, or is this a conversation?
Yeah, it's over
for Cree?
comm.
You guys are all in the same room at the moment, so
Yeah.
it's all over comm, but you're all hearing it.
Lewis,
What
what did you
happened to
see?
the other gods at the town?
It's like, well, these guys were well equipped. Nobody was willing to step in or step up.
What did their equipment look like? Did it have any sort of symbols on it?
Well, rifles, blasters. Some of them were in armor. They did have like a couple of tattoos, and some of them had painted on this like skull with a blade through it.
It's the Grey Blades. It must be
Sure.
them.
What direction did they go in?
It's like they just headed out North Gate. The last thing that they said was that they were looking for a kill door, and it sounded like they were looking for you guys.
God damn it, we got Graham captured.
We didn't. His town did.
There's a little bit more.
Yeah, tell us everything you know, Lewis.
They and you can get a little bit quieter. It's like they they got your comm information from Graham. They came in saying that's all they wanted, and when they found out, I guess from a few of our people, that you guys helped us out and that you were seen talking to the only person in town the most, which would be Graham, well, I think they took him because they're trying to get to you guys, and I think you're going to hear from him soon.
Sounds like we're on the Grey Braids list.
Yeah.
Sounds like we
Thanks,
always
Lewis.
were.
By the way, you didn't recognize any of those guys, did you, Lewis?
No, not a one of them. I'm telling you, they weren't squills. I'm done with all that.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about the squills anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
About that. Let's just say your old home.
There's
Nice
a-
cantina in it, yeah. Nice cantina.
Not so nice anymore.
There's a couple of guys who might still be around, but the bad guy, the leaders, they've all
Been
moved on
taken
to.
care of.
Did you capture Sundar? Darren Sundar?
Divine capture.
Well, a certain.
Did you kill him? Because that's
certain-
just as good.
Oh, he's
You
dead.
can hear there's a little bit of a shake in his voice now, like he's real worried that somebody might still want to visit him. If you know what I mean?
No,
Let's just
no,
say,
he's,
Lewis. Let's just say, Lewis, he was half price.
I'd say we're on top of that for you.
Half price, top of. Well, as long as he's been taken care of, I'm happy. I mean, I'm
he's
doing
not
what I
coming
told you
back.
I'd do. I'm making a life for myself here. I picked up the mining trade again, and Graham's helped me out a lot. I hope you guys can.
Well, I'm real proud of you, Lewis.
back.
Just do what you can to help the town, and we'll tell them that we'll see what we can do about getting Graham back.
You can hear this young kid's voice is pretty shaky. It's like, all right, that sounds good. We'll tell you if we find out anything else, I guess.
Yeah, just give
Okay,
us a
you
call.
do that.
And you just hear
Wait, wait, Lewis. Did they say anything else about the Keldor they were looking for?
just as they were looking for a Keldor. You're the only Keldor I've ever met.
Yeah, that's what I was. Okay.
No, I've
Thank
met
you.
plenty of Kildors on Tatooine.
Yeah. Bye, guys. I mean, you can hear the comlink cut out.
Yeah.
They're coming for us.
I wonder
anyone know if they
they're
can
looking
trap-
for Kree in specific.
Does anyone know they can track comlinks?
They probably can.
I would turn that one off there, Kree.
They already know we're in Enta.
Yeah, but
Waiting for
there's
a
a difference
message.
between knowing that we're in a town and being able to tune in on a carrier signal.
How about this? We know these guys are coming for us. How about we send them a message? Our terms. Meet us somewhere. Somewhere outside of Entha.
Kree, do
we
a
get
knowledge
contact?
check real quick.
Find.
Go ahead and do a. I can pull this up. Let's be a general information one. So just do it off of your intelligence.
Education?
So education. Yeah, education's fine. Just intelligence. So flat intelligence roll. So just 5 greens. Because this is just kind of just really general information, and whether or not you can put it together.
Alright. Take away a setback.
Mm-hmm. 1 failure, 1 threat.
4 success, 2 advantage. So
Actually, this would be more of a computers thing. Do you have any computer skill?
yeah, it would be the same.
Okay, it'd be the same. Okay, so you succeeded. You know that from using comlinks and kind of the basic properties, since you are one of the most intelligent people in the room right now, with that 5 intellect, that you would have to continually use the comlink quite a bit for someone to narrow down where you are. And Mos Intha is a very large city, so at best they may know what city you are in from that quick use of the comlink. If you continue to use it, they can continue to narrow that down, but it would take a considerable amount of time to figure out,
I'd
like,
have to
pinpoint
have like
where it's at.
hours-long conversations with people.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I think we'll be okay as long as I'm not chatting on it all the time.
well, Kree, why don't you turn that one off? I think we had one extra comlink,
But
and we'll just use that one.
I'm waiting for something.
Keep my long range comlink on you. They don't have that information.
I mean,
Alright, well,
I'll-
our choices are: we just carry on and wait for them to contact us, or we meet them on
find
our
them.
terms.
So let me throw one more complication into the pot here. So, remember I was telling you about my friend that helped me escape Oyum?
Oh yeah, what was
from
his
the hut-
name?
The hut attentions? Adam Smith.
Adam Smith. That was him. Yeah.
So I went ahead and sent him I opened up a comm signal with him, and I actually got him, and told him that we were here, and that if he had any contacts that might be able to help out, or maybe get us some business, have them contact me. And he immediately answered back, which kind of surprised me. But he said that we could meet a friend at the Fallen Star at the High Rollers table at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Fallen Star, is it like the casino? Yeah.
Think so.
High
I'm
rollers
sure we
table.
could ask Edvar about that.
All right, let's go and ask Edvar. And then, I mean, what time is it right now?
I need to
Possibly-
sleep pretty soon. I've been driving all night.
It is time for a break.
It is, well, it is time for a break, and also for your guys' in character, it is getting more into the evening now. You guys arrived about mid-afternoon, and after the back to tanks and the conversations, yeah, the suns are just starting to go down.
All right, let's go and ask Edvar about the Fallen Star Casino. Find out where that is, and then let's get some rest. And then
Well,
We'll see if we can go and find your
me and Ranger
friend.
might be able to go trade some stuff in while you guys rest.
Well, you guys can figure that out after the break.
Exactly.
So,
Woohoo!
there you
word
go.
from our sponsors. We have no
Now
sponsors.
from a word from our sponsors. Which we don't actually have any, so there you go.
Yawa juice.
Snarky
Sorry
Sarlacc, where you can get all of your
Oh, you're
Dune
listening.
lizard
Dune
products.
lizard needs.
Product.
Java Juice
Bacon,
Latte
steak, you name
makes
it, they've
you
got it.
Teeny.
It'll make you go, ooh, teeny.
Sponsored by your local medical clinic. Get fixed up today.
We'll basically
Only if
rob
you got
you
credits.
and use your life as a bargaining chip. Tatooine
I'll be
healthcare,
back.
everybody. All right, so everybody
Be
go,
right back.
take your breaks, stretch your legs, grab a drink. I'm here to answer questions to the stream, and I also want to say thank you to the few people who have actually donated today. Let me go through the list. This is how we're going to do it from now on. We don't want the donations to interrupt the flow of the story and take people out of it, so let's see here. We've got Corey Pin, thank you for the $5 donation. Why are you doing Awakening of the Rebellion? Because the campaign, sadly, in the alpha version that we're playing of 2.7 is bugged out. I crashed 5 times in an attempt to record the last episode, so that campaign is probably over. Good news is, though, Republic at War is getting an update soon after a couple of years of development, so hopefully we'll be bringing that up. Let's see, who else we got? Alden Fitcher, thank you so much for the 25. Just woke up after sleeping for 12-hour shift. I could not have timed that better. Well, welcome. And there we go. Okay, so we're through ours. And I think we had a subscription, actually. We had a sponsor. ADD subscribed the 2nd month of sponsoring the channel. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much for letting us continue to run this channel and do fun things like this, this Edge of the Empire RPG. If you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm actually going to stretch myself before we get into part 2 of today's run. I know, Republic at War is getting an update. Isn't that great, Admiral? I think it's been well over maybe a year and a half, 2 years since they did an official update. So, pretty freaking cool. How was the loot from the last game? The last game of this, I think it was pretty good. They got a variety of items. They've got some stuff to sell. Your basic rifles and carbines and pistols and stuff like that. No weapons that really stood out except for a single-use rocket launcher, which is pretty epic. They had one used against them. There was another one stored. And they also picked up a jump jet, which I believe, if I scroll over here... If we scroll over to what Rangers got, we can see there it is, the jump pack, right there. Back-mounted jump pack. Utilizes burst thrusters to allow the user to jump over large distances. So that's going to be a fun one. Kitchen Ninja, thank you so much for the $20 donation. He says, Kitchen Ninja's home defense system, where we throw everything plus the kitchen sink. I love it. Brought to you by Kitchen Ninja's home defense system. Appreciate the
that
donation.
system.
Right? Chucking sinks at people. How you guys liking today so far?
Also, chat.
No, you guys. Yeah, you guys.
Oh, we? Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that
It's-
brief AFK instance.
No worries.
It's a nice pace from the last session.
Yeah,
Right.
We
less
just
dying,
shoot this guy,
more
shoot this
loot.
guy, stab this guy.
You guys had some serious combat moments. Oh, hey, you can get rid of your stem
Oh,
pack.
these are good?
Those are good now. You used a back to tank, so we'll just call that good. I think you guys are planning on resting too, so.
Just making sure. I wanted to keep one up in case. You never know. Our GM likes to throw in random fucking enemies into cities.
Random crap at us.
You don't know. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Tatooine is a busy
exactly.
place, and you guys have a habit of not making friends.
We made friends.
And when we do, they get kidnapped.
We got Roland, and we got other people.
Other people? Question mark.
Other
I'll have you know, Prince, I
question
wanted
mark?
that repeating blaster.
That was 2 sessions of pure combat because you guys were like, let's go after the swoop gang.
And
you-
did we go after them? We did.
We
just didn't
did,
get the
and
money.
we got so far like 600 credits for our trouble.
Learning experience.
Exactly.
Do you have the light side of the Force in this? Brandon asks. Yeah, they just really rolled poorly on the Destiny token, so.
Just today.
Just today.
Usually
Normally
it's
it's about
like-
even. Look at that. Look at that. So, oh, by the way, that vehicle exploding when you turned it on, right? When he did
Yeah.
his mechanics check, he rolled a despair.
I heard. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
I just wanted to make sure you guys were clear that that didn't blow up because of like, oh, well, Shack doesn't want us to have this vehicle or anything like that.
No,
It's like, no,
I
nothing
know,
like that.
I
He just
know.
didn't notice it. He could have fixed
I-
it, but that despair.
He didn't notice it. I knew as soon as, like, the way you phrased, the way he did the mechanics check, I'm like, there's something wrong with this. There's something wrong with this. He didn't
I gotta watch my
find it.
tone. I give stuff away too easily, I think, in my tone. I gotta work on that.
More neutral tones.
Yeah. I need to be a little bit more.
That's why I'm like, come on, atmospheric flight. And I'm like, nope.
Bye bye.
No, not a whole lot you could have done with that. It was more. That was more to see how badly,
The
It went.
explosion happened. Yeah.
yeah.
I still wanted to try anyway.
Harry wants to know if Vic is part of the Resistance, as he said. Well, not the Resistance. I mean, I guess you could call them that, but you don't know. You don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on with Vic.
Maybe.
He's just sending messages to people.
Yeah, all we know is there's a Keldor with the biggest bounty you've ever seen. We got.
There's an
Vic.
information bounty on the Keldor.
Yeah, that.
It's not even like a full-on bounty. Like, go get this person. It says, hey, give us
Get them
information.
alive. Yeah.
Not
Let's
even
get
information.
them.
Do not engage is specifically what the bounty said. So is Vic. Let's see.
And here I thought me and Ranger would be the most wanted ones.
I could be wanted. You don't know that.
That's true.
You guys
I
don't know anything.
You know nothing.
Just because you're not on a bounty board doesn't mean you're not wanted.
Secrets.
Secrets. You don't know. You don't know. So you guys who are joining us, they had written their backgrounds for their characters. So some of those backgrounds kind of tie into the greater story as they go. Some less so, some more so, depending on where we're at in the story in the current chapter. So a lot of that, like you guys are like, oh, I wonder what that means. They're thinking the same thing. It's not clear to everyone what's going on. So part of the fun.
Although I'm thinking it's because of jazz hands.
Yes, hands.
Jazz
Best
hands.
stuff.
Her
Yeah,
healing.
that's a conversation we haven't had yet.
Welcome back.
I've written it down. It's coming up.
my character just doesn't care. It heals him. If he gets healed, he likes jazz hands. He's not gonna question it.
Yeah.
I've seen some weird shit. It's fine with me.
He's seen some real weird shit.
I would love to have been the innkeep, seeing us carry in a headless droid, a rocket launcher, some heavy
droid
weapons.
head.
Oh, that was
Some
so good.
armor.
I was like, you guys are just gonna carry it in, huh? Like, not like weird, hey, is this cool? Can we just like slip this in the back? Nope. Just like, I'm gonna walk in with a rocket launcher and a headless.
To be fair, it was Kree and Vic.
It's not even a headless droid. It's like a droid
That's-
with bullet wounds all over its face.
And a droid head. Like, obviously, we're gonna put the two together.
So Keldor and a basilisk walk into a bar.
With a rocket launcher.
What happens?
TW Rock says, thanks for the £5, by the way. I can't GM anymore because my friends don't trust me anymore. Then you've been GMing right.
Oh yeah, but trust has gone out the window. The first session.
I mean, you've got to have the trust in the roles and that they're fair, good or bad. You know, they are what they are.
The will of the dice.
The will of the dice
Yeah,
rule,
you gotta let him go, man.
and it's part of the fun. That jetpack was my favorite so far. That was great today.
The straight
Yeah.
into the mount.
Yep.
It'll
If you didn't
work
have the
well.
setbacks from never having used it before, which now you won't because you have used it, not effectively yet, but you figured it out a bit. You would have been fine.
Hey,
pretty
we gotta
sure.
learn somewhere. It's been
It makes it better.
many years since we just touched anything like a jetpack or a jump pack.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah, we gotta go to a casino, man.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'm curious to know where you guys go next. Hey, welcome back.
I decided to make some Jawa brand Jawa juice coffee. It's Utini.
Wait, did you say
Of course it
Unti?
is.
What do you
Oh,
mean
of
Unti
course
made
it
it?
is.
Yeah, it's actually Unti's special blend.
Unti's vintage brand.
Yes.
Wait, you don't want to know what that's made out of?
Nope.
Ugh.
Like the soup. Never ask what's in the soup. If you
Bantha
like
fodder.
it, just eat it.
Alright, I still say we go to sell some of the equipment we have. Because how many hold-up lashes do you have, Vic?
How many what?
Hold-out blasters?
Oh yeah, I was gonna sell some of those. Honestly, I don't think
We'll
don't know
just
that we
shop in
need
the
quite
morning.
that many.
We'll go to them in the morning before we go to the casino.
Alright.
All right, so let's get back into it. You guys have all gathered back at your, I guess, current hideout, you could call it, a place inside a cantina called the Snarky Sarlacc. It's a simple room, a few cots inside of it, and a sink and storage for food, but nothing really great. Inside
And
now,
a headless
though,
droid.
is a headless droid. Well, there is a head, mostly. Bullet blasts into the back of its skull. There is a head of a droid that you've brought in, and there is a
An
variety
extra
of
head,
large
yeah.
weaponry that's kind of leaning against the wall, including one rocket launcher. What do you guys want to do? It's coming to evening at this point.
Well, before the night ends, Kantios is definitely going to take the box out of his backpack and just look at it.
Okay, not the box again. We've talked about this.
Should we
You've
go
talked
talk
about
to
this.
Edvar before we do our final
Yeah, let's go
goodnight
and,
stuff?
go and ask him about the casino, so maybe we can plan that in the morning.
You do that. I have things to take care of.
All
right.
So you
Don't-
see Cantios like prop himself up on his cot. He rummages around his bag and he pulls out this box, this almost like marble box in its smoothness and its reflective. It's a darker box and it has that symbol that you had seen, a single sword with a star kind of around it in the front of it, but no real lines to look on how to open it.
Don't do anything I wouldn't, kid.
I'm still thinking about
I'll
shooting
stay here and make sure he doesn't
Um,
use the rocket launcher on it.
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
Come on, Vic, let's go.
New and exploding
Okay.
tool.
You see Cantios like kind of perk up and looking over at the rocket launcher now.
Like he never thought
No.
about
No.
it until
Like
she
you just
said
gave him an
something.
idea.
Just
No.
no. No. Just no.
Remember the bruise on your shins. No.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you guys make your way over to the cantina, back into the main cantina. And it's a
I don't
little
know
bit more
about you,
lively.
but-
It's now becoming evening after all the running around and going to the back to tanks. You want to speak to
I don't know
Edvard?
about you, Ranger, but I could really use a drink
No, Vic, you're speaking my language.
and a steak.
Oh, a steak.
I
Steak
guess we could
night.
have him send the other two steaks down to the kid and short stuff.
Let's see if we can invite him over for a chat.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're inviting Edvar over?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get Edvar with our steaks, a couple of drinks, have a little chat with Edvar.
After making your order, you guys settle into the same booth that you were in before. Edvar kind of wanders over with the steaks and plates in hand. And he starts handing them out, and he's like, "All right, gentlemen, here's the food. You gotta let me know how you like
Sounds
it."
great. Hey,
Oh,
Edvar, you got a minute? Or are you busy?
Always busy, but I got a minute for y'all, especially the paying customers that you are. What you got for me?
Pull up a chair a little bit.
This
what's
may be
I
a
behind
got
bit
a
it?
couple
long-winded.
questions for you about the local area. Maybe
Grabs
you
an
can help
old-
out with.
Grabs an old stool and pulls it over and kind of flops down on it. He's like, "What's up?"
So, have you ever heard about the Gray Blades?
Gray
The name we
blades.
just ran across.
You see him like kind of thinking, and his brow furls, and he's, doesn't really ring a bell. What kind of group is Gray Blade? Sounds a little ominous.
A bounty hunter organization is what we heard.
We get a fair few bounty hunters. None of the big organizations in here, at least none that I'm aware of who they've joined up with. They don't normally advertise that kind of info, but yeah, I don't know the name offhand.
All right. You ever heard of a John Roland?
And he
Around
kind of
these parts?
sighs for a minute, and he goes, yeah. He's the reason we don't offer credit anymore.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
But
He's
other
not
than
paying his debts.
what do you want with him? Or is he dead? He's probably dead, right?
I'm afraid not.
Not
That's
the last
too
time
bad.
we saw.
He kind of grins when he says it, so he's not totally serious.
Did he cheat you once? Yeah, I'm hearing some backstory.
Yeah, he just ran up a significant bar tab. And he's the
Why am I
reason
not
we don't have a
surprised?
window. And he points over at the broken, boarded up window that you guys had passed by when you walked in.
Did he go out that, or did he send somebody else out it?
He kind of both at the same time?
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a skill.
Yeah. That was a thing. He's just kind of sad. Like, he looks over at the window longingly, like that was the main reason he bought this place.
Yeah.
One of the few cantinas with a window.
Hey, Advice, there's one more thing I'm going to ask you. I'm still getting used to Marcentha. Do you know where the Fallen Star Casino is?
Valerian's place? Yeah, I
Is
know
that
where it
the
is.
owner?
Everybody knows where it is that lives in this town.
What'd you say the name of the owner was?
Valeria? Lady Valerian.
Valeria.
She basically runs about 80% of this town. I mean, you really are new from here, aren't you? You ever heard of Jabba? Were the huts here?
Have anyone...
The hut? Oh.
Yeah.
Have
Not
we
the
heard of
name,
Jabba?
but we know the huts.
All right, well, this is his planet. And the only piece of this planet that he doesn't either control or at least have some bit of influence in is Valerian territory. And that's basically this city.
These are pretty much the huts. These huts and Lady Valeria are a bit of enemies or a bit of a business party. The business.
For a long time, it was open warfare between the groups. Those were pretty shitty times, to be honest. But they've come to a truce. They kind of stay out of each other's business if they can help it. There's skirmishes here and there. There'll be a deal gone wrong, or somebody will find out that somebody's actually supplying credits to one or the other, or trying to play both sides, and there'll be a firefight and a bunch of bodies will drop. But for the most part, they stay out of each other's way when they can. The huts have a policy of do not do business with the Valerians, and the Valerians do business with anyone they can get away with. So you can understand how that causes some conflict and problems. She's basically
so Lady
based out of-
Valeria is not actually a hut.
No, Lady Valerian. He kind of sits and leans back in his chair. Yeah, I don't know what she is, to be honest. I've never seen her, thankfully. I've never seen a hut either, though, so that's not saying much.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, from what I've heard.
Tell me not to mess with this Lady Valeria or the huts.
Not if you want to live, to see the next
So,
day.
I mean, can people go into her place without having those connections, or is that just off limits?
What, the Fallen Star?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's open for business. I mean, that's one of the main gambling houses here in Marcentha. It's pretty big. Can't really miss it. It's kind of the center of town.
Now, could you say where it is on the map, just for reference, so we just want to go there tomorrow.
He kind of looks at you a bit shocked. He's like, you guys haven't explored much of the north side of town, have you? And he points straight in the middle of the entire city in this three-storied large structure that I'm pointing out right now on the map. On it actually has these large, like, blinking silhouettes of the female figures on the sides. Hive of scum and villainy, basically. Smoke kind of pours out the top of it, so one could almost think it's industrial, but it is this covered in advertisement large tower, taller than everything else in the city, actually.
We've been busy.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't been here much. Okay, we really appreciate it, Edvar.
It's like, well, as long as your business being busy, and you can tell he's kind of looking back toward your guys' room, doesn't interfere with my business of making delicious food, then, we don't have any problems.
Edvar,
We
you
will
keep
make
making this stuff, I'll keep coming back.
We'll
Excellent.
make sure that our business is far away from your business. How about that?
As he starts to get up and put this chair away, he's like, I'm telling you, franchise, dune lizard everywhere, as far as the galaxy can see. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, as he walks away.
Ever.
You might want to consider adding some of that Jawa juice. You know, for the people who want a little bit first thing in the morning drink.
You know that stuff can kill you, right? As he walks away.
No. Oh. Yeah.
Let's finish up.
Well.
Let's finish up here, Vic. Let's get back downstairs so we can rest. It must
Okay.
be
Yeah.
getting
By the
on
way,
now.
don't let Cree have any more of those Jawa juice.
Oh no, what happened?
The last time I saw somebody that hopped up, it was somebody on Glitterstim,
Wow.
and they died
That's-
afterwards.
Yeah, let's keep that in mind then.
Yeah.
This Ray just stuffs a large chunk of steak in his mouth. Wow, it's so good.
Yeah. Well, we'll take down the other steaks.
So you guys eat some food, bring the leftovers and a couple of the other meals down to the rest of the group.
Well, while they're up talking to Edvar, Bree's kind of sitting across the room from Cantios, watching him with this box in his lap. And she takes out her staff and kind of does the same thing, holds it in her lap and starts to concentrate a little bit.
I'm currently stabbing at the box
You're stabbing at it with...
with the Rat King's blade.
Yeah, I'm kind of like giving him the side eye while he's doing that, and I bring out the staff and I hold it across my lap. Take a deep breath and concentrate.
You concentrating on the staff?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and roll a force die for me.
Okay. Light side, 2 of them.
2 light sides. So as you hear this tink, tink, tink of the blade, the Rat King's blade, tooth, pinging off of the box that your companion is now holding while sitting on top of his bunk, you go into this sitting position, you lay the staff in front of you, and you begin to relax. You loosen your muscles and you concentrate. You find that sense of that relaxing sense of almost inner peace that you've been lacking over the last so many rolls. As you finally, the sound of the tinking kind of drifts away and you focus. And as you do so, the world drifts away. The sounds of the cantina above you, the thumping of people walking around, dropping glasses, and laughing is just a subtle light whisper now. And you start to see a clearer picture. A little bit of a picture of the visions that you saw in a dream when you were in Mostake. You see that perspective of holding a staff, not unlike the one that you're currently having in your lap. You see looking down at a young man who is sitting very similar to how you're sitting now. And as you focus on almost like a piece of knowledge you can't quite grasp, the staff in front of you in Cantios, you see this, begins to lift off your lap and slowly rotate in front of you. And it slowly starts to spin. Like actually.
Like a helicopter blade or like
very
a rolling
soft,
pin?
very slowly. It's rotating, not spinning like a helicopter blade, but more like a rolling pin, just spinning slowly.
Okay.
You can see the text that had lit up for you once before passing by. You can't see this. You, Kree, have your eyes closed, but you can feel it. You can kind of almost trace the words with your mind from one side of the staff to the other. And as you do this, the staff actually lights up at the letters as you go through them, repeating the words that you had seen before and managed to translate in the heat of combat.
Cantios is just kind of like his jaw just dropped. He's stopping the stabbing. Just kind of like looking at his box, looking at the staff, and going, why can't you do that?
You're looking at the box and you're looking at the staff, and you can almost feel this radiation of all this calm, this balanced peace coming off of Kree. And for a minute, you feel like a wave breaking over the box that is in your lap right now. And only for a split second, you see almost like a blue glow that lines the box. as if that's where the hinge is, and then it's just immediately gone.
I'm just shocked. There's no words. Just
All right,
mouth open.
I've run through the words in my mind a couple of times, and I'll come out of my meditation.
The staff drops into your lap with a little bit of a thud. It's still really heavy, but you realize at this moment that for the first time you realized it has been, but you just realized that it's even lighter than it was. Go ahead and remember this. We'll edit it later, but remove 1 encumbrance from the staff. And now as you open your eyes up, you see Cantios just a jaw open, agape, looking at you, looking at the staff, and having witnessed what, for you, felt more like almost a memory than actually happening in front of you.
So noticing his expression, that actually happened, huh?
But
Like you saw that?
so what? The glowing, the floating, or the what?
Yeah, those things.
Can your species do that?
I've
that a
never
thing?
seen it in my family before. So, I don't think it's a species thing.
Is that
But I'm
related
still
to
trying to
jazz
figure
hands?
it out. I think it has something to do with the jazz hands, yeah.
I didn't see anything. Just goes back to stabbing the boss.
Tink, tink, tink. You go back to stabbing the boss.
Now I'm
feeling
aiming at the line.
You're aiming at the line that you had seen. At least you thought you saw it. It was very quick and very subtle. You're tink, tink, tink. The little bit of frustration inside you with the fact that it's reacted once again, but not to you. And you do. What would this be?
Can I do maybe a perception check to see if I felt any reaction from him? From Cantios while I was meditating? With, like the flow of the force and junk?
Yeah. Go ahead and let's see what you have seen. So you don't know what you have no idea what this is. You're kind of just trying to figure it out as you go. So there's going to be some setback to it.
And that's just straight perception, yeah?
Yeah, this one will be perception. And I'm going to, because you rolled so well with the light side of the force, I'm going to downgrade the difficulty a little bit. And since you weren't in combat this time.
Right?
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Right. 1 success, 1 advantage.
I love the 2 blank dice.
Okay.
Love it.
So, well, you had 1 success and 1 advantage. Okay, because you had 4 threat. So,
Oh.
you have this. It's not so much that you didn't see anything, but you
No.
felt this.
I wanted to know if I
bit
was
of
feeling
resistance from the outflowing of emotion that you had felt. That everything seemed peaceful, like you were in the middle of a pond, but as if a rock was in front of you. It broke against maybe the box, maybe Cantios, you're not sure, as if something was breaking the ripples that you were slowly creating. And the only thing that you can feel from that breaking is a sense of frustration, but it's not yours.
And seeing him stabbing at this box, I can probably make an educated guess as to where the frustration is coming from.
Yes.
Totally the boss.
Tink, 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 as he's stabbing at this thing.
Cantios?
What?
Is that working?
Saw line. Maybe.
Tink. He's making no scratches. The material is completely smooth, even with the blade he's using in his hands. Completely smooth.
Probably not worth it.
Maybe if you just kind of sit with it, it might be better. I don't want you to blunt your blade because that time you sliced off that guy's head, basically, and we were all sneaky and stuff, that was really cool, and I want to make sure you can do that again. So don't damage your blade.
So he's gonna look at you, look at the blade, realize that's probably going to happen. So he puts it in its holster, and then he just looks up. He looks at the box. He eyes the rocket launcher. He looks at the ball.
All right, so this whole
he goes,
jazz hands
"Nah."
thing. It's if you just kind of like sit and think about it for a bit and just kind of relax. That's how I've been kind of figuring
minute.
stuff out a little bit.
You can relax. You talk a mile a minute.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's part of my relaxation. Isn't it relaxing to hear me talk? I mean, I'm really good at talking, and I know a lot of
he
stuff.
is no longer paying attention. I guess he's going to think about what she just did, and he's going to put the box in front of him. He's going to sit on his knees, and he's going to go, all right. He's going to put out his hand and do like a jazz motion.
And just relax and just, to try to coach him
he doesn't know.
As you're trying to coach him to just focus and relax, and he
feel peaceful.
At first, he's doing this like jazz hand motion where he's shaking both his hands in front of the box, and like he's trying to do some weird voodoo. It's nothing's happening. As like a joke, the time kind of runs through. You keep saying just relax, relax, and you hear Cree saying this, and for a moment, roll perception check, and then on the side, go ahead and roll a force die.
4 success, 2 advantage, and 1 dark side.
Okay, so you hear Cree saying relax, calm down, focus, and for a minute it almost becomes like an echo in your mind. You close your eyes, looking at the box, thinking back through every time you've tried to open it. A little bit of that frustration builds inside you, but then it subsides. Cree, you notice as he focuses that the line that he had described, you actually start to see a little bit of it form around the top edge of the box, almost about an inch down from the sides of it. It begins to glow a light blue. As it,
I'm not going to say anything.
You're not going to say anything. Okay.
No.
All right. What do you? So you.
Well, I'm continuing to kind of like be soothing.
Right.
I don't know.
So Cantios, you can for a minute see in your head, not so much in the box itself, but in your head, the line growing on the box. You can feel that calm is almost fueling it. It's almost driving it. Your wish to open the box is being tempered because you're attempting to temper it. Go ahead and roll a discipline check. If you want to continue trying to do what you're doing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
With advantage because I'm helping him?
He's only able to
Helping
do
him
this
to
because you're helping him.
Okay.
After having trying to stab at the thing? Yeah, no. You're the only reason that he's attempting this. It's something is happening. So 1 failure.
Success.
Okay, so you continue to... For a minute, that frustration comes back. You haven't been able to open this damn box that your family gave you. It was your mother who gave it to you. Just shoved this into your chest and said, go. Now you're holding that back. You're listening to the words of a companion who's helped you. The line begins to glow stronger and make its way out completely around the box. Go ahead and roll another discipline check this time to see if it opens.
Three success.
Okay. You've relaxed. You've calmed your mind. That sense of from anger to peace, that balance in the middle has come, and the line glows brightly now blue. Seals all the way, runs to the mark in the center, the half circle with the sword through it and the star blowing out of it begins to glow as well as the lines make their way to that logo. As it fills, it flashes. You don't see this, Cree, but you can't just see it in your mind, and the box opens. You open your eyes, look down. And this object that you've had now for quite a while has frustrated you, is staring you in the face, open. And inside it is this. Sitting in a cloth.
There's a box in a box. I cannot believe.
Oh.
It worked!
It
Jazz
worked!
hands
You
worked!
did it!
And I'd leave it to my mom to put her box in a box.
Inside, underneath this small metallic object with what almost looks like small windows looking on the inside, is a note.
Huh. What is this? Okay, did she at least put words? The
Are they
box.
words you can read?
Would you like me to read it to you, or like say it out loud, or do you want to just know I can whisper it to you?
Say it out loud. I'm gonna read it out loud because Jazz Hands and she's
Okay.
here.
So reading through it, it says, to my son, I'm sorry that it's come to this. Hopefully, this will help guide you like it did your father.
Holy
I love
shit,
you.
it's my dad's box.
And that's all it says.
He just kind of, he's just sitting there, looking at the box, looking at the words, and going, Dad's box.
What kind of person was your dad?
I don't know. That's
Oh.
the best description I can give it. He was never there.
Oh, wow.
Topic for another day. He's gonna take this box
Yeah.
out of the box and put it in his
It's
bag.
been a long day.
And he's gonna sit there now, looking at this other box. Well, the other box is away. He's just gonna like, should I stab it?
Well, that didn't work last time. I think we should sleep on it.
It did not work last
Getting
time.
pretty late.
It is. I'm gonna.
Roll a perception check real quick.
Heck.
3 success, 2 advantage.
All right. So as you've now taken the box is empty, the old box, and holding this cube in your hand, thinking, okay, what am I going to do with this now? A little bit of frustration, but this time you can feel like a warmth radiate from it, and you hear a voice in your head that says, "Focus, son. Only focus." And the holocron that the voice mentions, focus on the holocron, glows in your mind. And the tiny little opening, these little windows on each side, glows on the inside just a little bit. Only you see this.
I'm gonna have you know right now, in his mind, he's scared shitless. Like, what?
And as that
Ooh.
fear overtakes you, there's silence. You feel nothing from the box, from the holocron.
Okay then. Cree, is there someone else in this room?
No? Do I need to do a perception check? Do I need to, like, look under your bed?
He's
What?
freaking out.
I look around. No, the ranger and Nick
Ranger
haven't got
back.
back yet.
What?
What did we just wander in from the bar?
And you guys walk into the room from the bar with 2 plates of food, and you hear
Yeah,
this very confusing statement.
We bought you some steak?
You find Cantios sitting on his bed
drink.
cross-legged with a new strange, almost copper-like box and with windows on all sides. And Cree sitting with her staff on her lap, looking at
What
each other.
on earth is happening in here?
Nothing.
Oh, hey,
Nothing has ever happened. Give me the steak.
You've got a new box there.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
let's
have a look at
snake,
it.
Have a look at the
steak
box.
smells divine.
Yeah, we brought you down dinner. Edvar sent his compliments.
Oh, fantastic. Do I need to
Okay,
roll
let's
a
have a look at the
resistance?
box.
And
Resilience?
we even
Box.
brought
I
you
don't
a
care about
clean
the
glass
box.
of water.
I'm gonna eat the steak.
go to sleep.
You're gonna eat the steak. Okay. Cantios just flops over after garbling, just downing a bunch of steak. You eat the steak. Everybody has dinner. Any other business that you wish to conclude tonight?
Hey, Ranger, you want to talk about all that stuff that we learned tomorrow? Or?
We'll
Getting
talk about it
pretty
tomorrow.
tired,
I
yeah.
think everyone's pretty tired.
I'm
We know
exhausted.
basically we know where we're going tomorrow.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna
Let's go get some
go.
rest.
I'm gonna go crash out on these 2 cots over here.
Okay.
I'd like to. Curry, you still awake?
Mhm.
I'd like to just
Kind
sit
of
down
like
next to Curry
settling
with the staff.
in.
Seeing Vic go off to sleep and kind of everyone settle in. Curry, can I talk to you about something?
Yeah.
What did you do to me? Exposing the now completely healed scar.
Now, like I said, it's something I've been trying to figure out.
Do you need some help? I mean, I've traveled the world, I've traveled the universe even.
There's a moment where she just kind of like looks at Ranger. Yeah, I think I can trust you. Well, oh, there's you've seen the bounty and all that.
Yeah.
And I had to leave my family because of something called the force
Force.
and force users. So I've been trying to figure out more about that. And this whole thing where I can heal wounds is really, really new, really useful. But it's still kind of weird.
Ranger,
Pretty
do a roll for lore.
Two success.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow. 2 threats. So, the word force and force users come to your mind. Being a Mandalorian, having grown up with Mandalorians, being told the tales of the Mandalorian Wars some thousands of years ago that rocked your world, destroying its atmosphere and turning it into a desolate wasteland where your people have to live in almost bubble-like cities, because of people who have been known to wield the force. You don't really know what that means. You've heard the Imperial propaganda, but most of it you've always just kind of shrugged off. I believe that's what what your character has said. But this does kind of perk your interest because this is the first time that you have ever seen any evidence that maybe some of the stories are true.
My father used to mention old, like, history books we used to flick through. We were talking about the old Mandalorian Wars from just years and years, way before our time, before his time, and of force users so powerful, but I don't know, I can't remember much.
Are they dangerous?
I don't think danger is the word. I don't know much, but he used to speak about warriors who used to fight for good. But there's great
nobody-
power in what you clearly have.
Can I tell you something? Kind of in secret.
Of course.
So, you know I can fix wounds with
Yeah,
this.
You've done a great job on me. You're probably just near enough saving from bleeding out.
I can also make them.
You can
When we were being chased,
you mean
speeders.
on the speeders, yeah.
Yeah, the Twi'lek was going. I saw a grenade in his hand. He was going to drop it into the speeder with Vic and I. And I reached out, and I did basically the opposite of what I did for you. I felt those old wounds, and I wanted them to open again.
Tore 'em apart.
Yeah.
This is a great power, Chris, beyond my understanding. But it's in good hands. Don't be afraid. You've
Don't
got.
hate me.
Why would I hate you? You've
I
saved
don't
my
know.
life. Why would I hate you? And I promised you that
scary.
bounty that's on your head, forget about it. You got all of
Yeah.
us. I'm gesturing over to the now snoozing Cantios who's cuddling in box. Vic's now blowing bubbles out of his nose, snoring.
Sound effects included.
Allergies.
You got us now, Cree. Whatever happened, happened in the past. You got us now. We'll always look out for you. But I think if we ever have the chance to find more understanding about this force that you have, we need to find out. But don't fear it. You have control over it, from what I can see, because you're not tearing apart the room. You have control over it. I think, like any ability, or like another weapon, but no control over it. Own your abilities.
Alright. Well, I'm still trying to figure it out, so...
But whatever you do, don't use it around the Empire. I've seen propaganda, I've seen horrible things.
Yeah, that's a
Be
good
careful.
point. Oh, and I kind of glance over at Cantios and him sleeping and all that. I think Cantios might be able to do things too,
You think
but
he
I don't
has this
know.
force?
I don't know. It's just kind of a feeling. But just so you know, just
Yeah. Well, we'll have to find out more. Maybe someone's out there's gonna know more about the force and an understanding of who these old warriors were.
yeah, that'd be really great. If you
Well-
know anybody who could, I don't know. I don't know what your kind of contacts are. But now you know.
Cantios, are
that
you actually
counts.
asleep? Are you
No.
listening to this?
He's listening.
Roll a stealth check. Everybody else roll a vigilance for me.
Including Vic, or is Vic?
You're out.
Vic's
Snoring.
You are out
Is
cold.
it really-
That log. Okay.
You're
okay.
sawing that log. Cabbages.
Just a one success for range. He doesn't notice
One
nothing.
success and a stupid amount of advantage. 2, 4, 6 advantage.
Cantios?
And 1 success.
How did
One
you...
success, 3 advantage.
So what did you two get? One
I
success.
got one success.
We all got 1 success.
It was
Okay.
even.
So you just assume he might be asleep. You think he could be asleep. You're not really sure. You're just kind of assuming. Wow, those rolls.
Well, I see our
That's an
first
excellent roll.
contest roll went swimmingly.
Yep.
Yeah, weird. Even.
Jeez, wow, the
Dead
dice, the
even.
dice.
I'm like, there's no way Kree will fail, right?
I didn't fail. I got a success.
You see
I guess.
Cantios kind of like shifting a little bit in the bed, kind of holding the small cube now in his hands, kind of cuddling with it.
Well, if he does have this force, whatever it might be, there's no point treating him any differently. He clearly either has control or doesn't know he has control over it. Whatever he can do, I haven't seen him do what you can do. But
Yeah.
let's just keep an eye on him. Like, not in the sense of watch out for him, just
No.
look after him. Hey, we're in this together, you know.
Feels good to have friends. Been a while.
I say we're becoming more like family.
That's even better.
Come on, let's go and get some rest.
And with
All
that, you hear this horrible snoring sound come out of Vic as he rolls over.
Oh, god damn it.
And you hear the creaking of his cot underneath all the weight.
Both of them.
Both of the cots. These rode up together.
Roll him over. Vic, you're snoring.
Sorry.
Okay, and you guys crash for the night.
Yeah.
As the night goes on, you're all sleeping in your bunks. You hear dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee from your comlink, Kree.
All right. I'm gonna quietly get up and go out into the hall to take the.
As you click on the comlink.
I go out into the hall, so I'm not
Okay.
like in the room with my sleeping friends.
Okay. Go to the comlink, or out to the hall, and activate your comlink. And a voice, an unfamiliar voice, comes over. that says, is this the Keldor? That band of
Yeah.
misfits?
Who's asking?
I'll be asking the questions. We've got your friend. And you
You
hear in the
alive?
background this. You can tell. It's Graham. He's probably gagged. It's like, bring the smuggler to Building 17 of Warehouse District 2, Mosentha, in 4 days, and you can have him back.
Which
Oh.
smuggler are you talking about?
Don't get smart
I
with
know a
me. We
lot of
know you've got
smugglers.
deadlock. Bring him to the warehouse in a few days. 3 days, noon. Tick, and he clicks. The comm off.
Can you repeat the location information for me? I didn't
Yeah,
write
it's
it down
Building
fast enough.
17 of Warehouse District 2 in Mosentha, in the city you're currently in.
Building 17.
In the Warehousing
Warehouse
District
2, 3 days at noon.
Yep.
All right.
4 days.
go-
What?
3 days.
3 days. 3 days. It was 3 days. We'll go with that.
3 days
Alright.
at noon.
I'm gonna go back into the room. Go back to sleep.
Okay. And the suns rise in the morning, and you guys start to wake up.
Yeah, focus.
Oh, God.
That was a really good rest.
Oh, it wasn't now, Vic. It wasn't for the rest of us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
we need
so
to go
all
right.
the stim pack uses reset.
Yep, all your stim pack uses reset. You should have gained 1 of your health points back, so knock that out, and then all of your strain is gone. 1 full night's rest.
Oh, you say full night with Vic snoring?
As much as you can with Vic in the room, on a cot.
Have you seen the waddle around his neck? I'm surprised that he snores.
All right, you guys are waking up. What are you gonna do?
Right, we got some.
I'm currently holding the box still. I'm looking at it.
Okay.
That's about it. I'm gonna put it away in my backpack.
Ranger
Good.
still looks
Let's-
over at
let's
the
have some breakfast.
Cantios putting away the box. Right. Yeah, let's go and have some breakfast, and then we need to
Have
talk.
some breakfast.
We
So
Oh,
we can
that
talk
steak
about what
was
we
good.
found
I
out.
wonder if we can have like scrambled dune lizard eggs with
Oh,
some
the
more of that
bacon.
bacon.
Oh,
I don't trust those eggs. They're weird colors.
They're delicious.
Everything's a weird color in this town.
Good point.
As you go upstairs, you do smell the smell of breakfast being prepared, but it's not the same one that you smelled before. The bacon smell is not there.
Oh.
And Edvar just kind of waves at you guys. Morning. Yeah,
Morning.
Breakfast this
Morning.
morning. I got a special meal
Yeah.
for you.
Oh.
what you
Yeah.
got this time?
It's dune lizard omelets with dune lizard chopped bacon on top of it from the other morning. Fantastic.
Mm.
It smells terrible to you guys, by the way.
Oh, oh,
We mixed it with a little bit of bantha milk that gone a little off, but I think it'll really bring out the flavor.
you know, Hedgehog, we're not
sorry,
very
we got
hungry.
Got a
I
busy
think
day today.
we've got an appointment that we gotta go to, but
Yeah, Cantios got this hacking cough, haven't you,
yeah,
Cantios?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta go see this guy about about the skiff. But we'll be back later, and if you have any leftovers, maybe we'll get a chance. But
Oh, no, I'm not eating
don't worry
that.
about saving any
I'm not
for
eating
us.
And just walking out like, nope.
You guys kind of
avoiding
filter
this,
out
nope.
before he has a chance to really respond. He's just kind of like, oh, as he's handing out a couple plates to the other patrons that have come in for the breakfast.
Those poor souls.
That did not smell good.
All right.
it
So as
did
we walk
not.
outside, I'm gonna make sure my hood is up.
Okay.
Let's
You're
go
going
check
hood
by
up
the
now?
skiff.
I'm going hood up.
Yeah, go.
Go
hang
check
out
by
by
the
the
skiff.
You go to the skiff. I'm gonna go. Actually, I don't know where I'm gonna go. I want to go
Hang
to
on.
the shop, but
Wait, let's go to the shop. We've got some information to share.
So what time is it?
Early morning. So you're talking like 8, 9 in the morning.
Alright, let's go and hang out by the skiff. We got some news for you. Stuff we
Oh,
found out from Edvar.
Yeah, go ahead, Ranger.
Alright, so Vic's contact managed to Obviously directing to that casino, the Fallen Star, everyone remember? We found out where it is, and it just points. I assume we can see the flashing building.
You can see from your guided perspective, it's pretty far away, but you can see like just the top of it over the buildings closest to you, and you do see some of the neon lights are now powered down because it's early morning. But yeah, you can definitely see the top of it and a little bit of that smoke plume that comes out of it.
Ranger just gestures over that building. That's the casino. But we can head there around 11, wasn't it, Vic?
Yeah, well, we were supposed to meet the contact at the high rollers table at 11, so we ought to come out a little early, get a lay of the land.
Now, before when I've met contacts, they don't like being met with groups, so again, it's up to you, Vic, but you want to go by yourself, but stay in comm range.
I told them that I had a group of friends, but yeah, maybe I should go meet them first.
Like, you don't know this guy, do you? You know your friend, but...
No, I've never met before, so definitely having you guys around might be helpful.
Now, there's another issue I've just cropped up here. He mentioned the high rollers table, didn't he?
Yeah.
We're gonna need you to get you some credits to get a seat, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm not what you'd call a great Sabak player.
Is anyone here a good Sabak player?
I know, but he needs to meet Vic, though. He won't know any of us. We could be anyone to this guy. He's expecting a basilisk.
You're also, keep in mind, it is early in the morning, and you would imagine that the high rollers and the casino itself probably doesn't even get started anywhere until like 5, 6 in the evening when they really start picking it up. So, yeah.
Oh, so maybe we're not going to play?
No, maybe we
We're
don't
just
need
meeting
to.
someone in that area?
Is it 11 in the morning or 11 at night?
11 in the morning.
Who
goes
said
to the
11
casino?
a.m.?
Yes,
He did say 11 a.m., didn't he?
He said in the morning.
God, you guys go there. I'm not going to a casino 11 a.m. But losers
Alright, well,
go there at that time.
If Vic, you
Or
go in
people
and meet
looking
him,
for work?
we'll hang out outside.
Yeah, I'm about to say I wouldn't mind some backup just in case. For one thing, we got that group of people that are looking for a Keldor, and that sounds.
Speaking of that, I got a call last night
What?
Oh,
on the comlink. They
Oh,
wanted
really?
to talk to the Keldor, and I didn't recognize the voice. But they are the people who took Graham. I heard him in the background, so he is still alive. They want us to bring the smuggler, the warehouse district, 3 days from now.
Which smuggler?
They
Roland?
said Deadlock.
what's deadlock? We don't have deadlock.
They said we need to bring Deadlock to warehouse district 2, building 17, 3 days from now at noon.
We need to call Roland then. 3 days we got? We need to
Yeah.
call Roland later on, then maybe he's found something. Can't let Graham down. Alright, well, what do you say to this? We go to meet Vic's contact, get what information we can, go to the shops, sell whatever gear we got.
We've got a little extra time. You think we maybe ought
Maybe
to
we
like
can shop on
offload
the
some of those
way.
extra weapons, or
Probably do it
if
on the
we
way,
will.
depending on what time it is.
You guys do know of what you were asking about last time you were in town, that just across the way from where you're standing right now is actually a weapons and outfitters store.
Yeah.
Alright, we stop in there first then.
Okay.
That
Sounds
And
sounds
then-
like a plan to me.
On to Vic's contact.
all right?
Let's go
Yeah,
shopping.
I'm gonna suggest that we.
Woo!
I've got a holdout
Every
blaster
time in
and that
town.
light pistol, and then that old hunting rifle. Unless you really want that, can't you? Yesterday we could see if we can get some money for it.
Nah, we'll just
And
sell it.
then,
Keep the
did we
rocket
have an
tube.
extra rifle carbine that we wanted to see about if we can get a good price for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pull over any items you want to sell.
This I kind of want to get. I want Vic to look at this to fix it up.
Okay,
Maybe do
take a
some
look.
work
I
with
can
that.
take a look at that. And we're definitely gonna hang on to the rocket in case we need that, because
I'll
we
get
might
some-
need some big help.
I've got some reserve. Sell the Byron's Reserve, Carillion brandy, a whiskey.
You know, I got a couple of bottles of that too.
You want to pull it all together and maybe we could sell it for more?
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, I'm trying to think if I needed to if I could modify any of these weapons. But I think I think we've got enough rifles as it is. So we could sell off these 2 rifles and an extra holdout, as long as everyone's got a holdout blaster.
I got my blaster.
I do not have a hold-up blaster.
Hold out. Well, it
So
might
those
be
are easy
useful
to
if we have to
hide.
go have to hide a pistol at some point. Not the only good thing going for him, but
I think I'll be fine, Vic. I'm good with me. My hands. And Ranger cracks
Yeah,
his
I'm good.
knuckles.
okay. Agree,
not
you've already
stealthy
got
enough.
a really nice one, but so yeah. Unless you want another one, but I think maybe we can see what we can get.
Let's see if we can go sell some of this junk then.
Okay, so you guys are walking across the street, dodging the different vehicles that are coming through. There's no crosswalks on Tatooine. It's very dangerous. Swoop bikes are going through, speeders are going through, animals trying to miss the droppings that they've left behind. Droids sit outside the entranceway here. One of them is actually a small mechanical droid with a large disc-like head and a big single eye in the front of it. It comes up to about your knees. As you walk through the main entranceway, you're greeted to a fairly small establishment with a single gentleman standing behind the counter. A Rhodian with yellow skin with bits of green-like outlines. Hello, what can I do for you?
Good morning. Nice to meet you. My name is Vic, and these are my friends.
Yeah,
We were looking at maybe seeing what you had as far as weapons, and maybe seeing if you were interested in looking at some of the extra weapons that we've come across that we'd like to sell off.
Okay. Let's see what you've got here. And he kind of shows you the counter to where to bring up all the items that you're looking to sell.
Okay.
Place
These
all the
are
items on.
You guys put up here a hunting rifle that only has a couple of rounds of ammunition, a couple of blaster pistols, a hold-out blaster pistol, a bottle. Is it just one bottle or is it multiple?
I believe that's just one bottle.
Okay, one bottle.
I'll throw another one in there.
Okay.
Bottles.
It's like, oh, this stuff. Yeah, this is great. I could definitely sell this to one of the cantinas around here. Maybe even across the street. I know Edvar would probably like that. Replace his stock, especially how hard it is to get supplies right now with what the Empire's up to. So, all right. So blaster. And he looks over the blaster, and he's kind of like looking down the sight for the rifle. He's like, how much ammo you got for this thing?
For
About 4 or 5
the
shots.
rifle?
Yeah. Yeah,
we
it's
got
not really good without it.
Yeah, we've got about a half dozen rounds. It could be used to replicate them.
Yeah, that's an expensive process, though. There's a reason why people don't really use these anymore. Kind of an antique, but all right. I'll give you 900 credits for the whole shebang.
Who wants to do the talking here?
Carbine itself is worth at least 6.
6? Yeah, all right. And he pulls back a bit of a curtain behind him, and you see 4 more of the same style carbines. A few of them have a little bit of like an intricate layer to them. Some of them have a bit more style to them, but for the most part, they're very similar styled rifles, and carbines directly below those.
Oh.
Weapons on Tatooine, dime a dozen.
All right. Speaking of which, maybe we ought to talk about a trade-in. What do you have available that you might we might be interested in?
Anything interesting. We don't want your run-of-the-mill stuff. Anything like especially special items or anything interesting that's kind of.
I'm talking about weapons, and he kind of points back at the wall of weapons behind him.
Maybe more along the armor lines, perhaps.
You're looking
A
for
little of both.
Looking for armor. Well, and he kind of points around the corner a little bit down to his left wall. He's like, well, I got a couple of things. A few bits of padded armor, some armored clothing. That fine weave stuff we've got. A couple of nice jackets over there that might be able to absorb a blaster bolt. You never know with that armored clothing, though. We don't have a lot of the heavy stuff. I did get a shipment from my specialist supplier, and he kind of looks around a little bit around the room. And then he pulls out a box of gear, and for the most part, it's junk that you're looking over. Let's see here. Ranger, do a perception check.
3 success and 1 advantage.
toward the bottom of this crate of really random items. Pair of boots, most of a spacesuit, but it's missing the helmet. A couple of really small-looking holdout blasters, but they're almost like a Derringer. They've only got one shot per. Things that you guys might not be all that interested in. One thing grabs your attention, and it's a pair of gauntlets. Black and red gauntlets. Very, very recognizable to you, though they are missing their upgrades that you had once had attached to them.
Ranger steams forward, kind of shoves the shopkeep out of the way and reaches for these gauntlets to pick them out of the box.
He starts pulling them away from you. He's like, whoa, 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 come on now.
Let me look at these. Let me look at these. Let me look at these.
Roll a coercion check.
Ooh, 3 success.
He kind of takes a step back, a little bit of fear in his eyes now that he's just seen a Mandalorian barrel over to him, push him away from the box that he was just suddenly like trying to show you guys, and rip out a few of items. He grabbed the items that he didn't even know what they were. He just went and reached for them and grabbed them as if he hadn't even had a chance to really go through this box yet. But then he kind of just like shakingly hands them over to you. Like, here, they're just a pair of gauntlets or whatever. Piece of armor. It's not even the whole set.
Ranger holds them in his hands like it's something like it's a lost family member he's just found. Where did you get these?
He's looking at you and looking. Like, I have a specialist supplier that gets me all kinds of interesting and unique items that have been found from all over the galaxy. And you, looking over the object, actually, you see all of the scratch marks and the burns and the bits of cloth that have been kind of worn, and every piece of it seems so very familiar to you.
I'm gonna put my hand on Ranger's arm. Like, kind of noticing the intense reaction to all this, and kind of like trying to reassure him that we'll make sure we get these.
Everything okay, my friend?
Seeing this reaction, can I just kind of take a look around the store as well?
Sure. So you start looking around the store. Go ahead and roll a perception check. And then while you're doing that, you guys are having this conversation with him holding these pair of just gauntlets in his hands.
These were mine.
They're scratched, but they're in good shape for how beat the hell they kind of look, with that black and red band around them.
2 success and 4 advantage.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
These belonged to me years ago. This is part of my father's armor set.
That really?
Oh. 100% pure grade Mandalorian armor.
And as he's saying that, I'm gonna kind of like step in front and try to negotiate with the shopkeeper.
As you start to step in
what was
front, the
your-
words Mandalorian armor are heard by the shopkeeper, and that little bit of fear becomes a shake. His eyes go wide as he steps back a couple of steps. He's like, look, I didn't know anything about any Mandalorian armor, especially not I didn't know. It's just my supplier sends me stuff. It's a random assortment. You know what? You can have them on the house.
Ranger passes the gauntlets to Kree. Hold these a minute.
Okay.
Ranger goes up to the Rhodian, right in his face. Who's your contact?
I can't just give away a
Who is your contact?
Roll another coercion check.
It's okay. Could I pick him
Take-
pick him up off his legs just for a bit of a bonus?
You reach across the table and you grab the collar around him, and it's a nice shirt he's wearing. He's a businessman, you know. He doesn't see any combat. He's wearing fine clothes. You kind of wrinkle it all as you grab it, and you lift him off the ground. Go ahead and take a boost die for that.
Can I offer an assistance here?
In what way?
You want a boost? Vic's gonna lean over and go, I've never seen him this mad before. You'd like him to be mad at somebody else, I'm sure.
He's shaking now, looking over at you, looking over at Blitz. What'd you roll? Over at
Do I
Ranger.
get an extra boost dice for that?
Yeah, take an extra
Vic's
boost die for that one.
I'll roll the boost dice quickly. That was 2 success, 2 advantage.
He got 1 threat. It blanks. So, it's all right. Just set me down, and I'll just tell you what you want to know. But promise me you're not gonna hurt them. They're friends of
All right.
mine.
Now listen to me. I can clearly say this is not your fault, but just give me the context name. Let me take the gauntlets, and me and you'll be fine.
All right. Just set me down.
All right. Put him down.
Set him down, and he's visibly shaken now. He's obviously heard of Mandalorians before, and having met one now face to face, especially one where he's holding onto their family's armor, has really shaken him. He looks at the ground and he kind of looks back up at you and he goes, "You want to talk to a man named Tor Vitor? Torkin Vitor, excuse me, Torkin Vitor. He's down in Anchorhead. He's my supplier. Every couple of months, he comes through town. He drops a couple of pieces of gear and equipment, normally a crate. It's a random assortment. I don't know where he gets it, but he just sells it to me. I give him a wholesale price for it, and then I put it out on the store."
Do you have any contact details for this Torton?
You back in town?
Like-
Soon, or
He'll probably be through in maybe 3 weeks, months' time. I mean, it's kind of all over the place. We don't have like a set time. He just comes into the shop.
Alright, you got a comms details? You call him up? Or you just see him as he comes in?
I just see him as he comes in. I mean, we've had brief conversations. I know he runs a little bit of supply in and out of Anchorhead, but that's all I got.
Alright. This conversation never happened.
Never happened. And I'll tell you,
Alright.
I've never seen anything like that before. And he points at the metal gauntlets that Tree is currently holding. It's like there's there's we're good. And he backs up a bit.
Alright. Just carry on as your day. Service, my friends. If you please.
Like yeah. What did you guys want?
looking to sell some items?
think,
Kind
I
of gestures
think-
over towards the counter.
Yeah, and little sister here was maybe looking for some armor, and if you had anything for like short range gun that could maybe make an impression, that'd be great.
That would make an impression. And then he kind of goes into business mode now and starts to breathe a little bit and relax. He's like, well, let me look to the armor first, and we'll see what we've got. I've got a few
What's
sets.
your name again, friend? What's your name again?
What? Trip. Caldorna.
Huh?
Trip. Caldorna.
Trip, we really appreciate you being so accommodating with our friend and being understanding. We're just here to do a little business.
Business. That's what I'm here for.
All right.
As long as you're paying customers, it's all fine.
Yeah.
As for the stuff that you're looking to sell, I mean, if you're looking for traded value, I'll give you 1,000 credits for traded value.
All right.
All right, so he starts leading you over to a kind of a rack of armor. He unlocks one of the racks and opens it up so you can actually get access to take a look at it. The pickings are fairly slim. There's a few basic, bare bones, armored clothing sets. One of them is kind of like a duster that it looks like. One of them is a tighter jacket and a pair of what just look like almost brown jeans and a slung belt that's been sewn into it. This would just be the armored clothing that you guys have seen before. The only real armor of note would be a piece of laminate that's currently up in a locked container.
Well, if it's nothing we haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's nothing that you haven't seen before.
All right. Well, thank you for showing me that. I'll keep looking.
Out of character, I'm surprised laminate doesn't really do much. Very surprised, but then again.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It's kind of surprising. You think it would
Yeah.
do more, because that's the same stuff that like Stormtrooper armor is
Yeah.
made out of as well. Or maybe you wouldn't be so surprised.
Yeah, that's what I just thought about at the end, yeah. Thinking
And you
about
guys
their
are
stormtroopers.
kind of like at the Edge store, right? Like you're not at one of these places that are just, they sell the finest in armors from high tech. You're on
Yeah.
Tatooine buying from Jim Bob's, used equipment and sales. So
I'm gonna hand Ranger his gauntlets. I haven't done
Thank
that
you,
already.
I want to start looking at these blasters that they have.
You do see a rack of your base pistols. They've got some holdout blasters. They've got your basic heavy blasters. Nothing that you really haven't seen before that stands out to you. There is a collection of grenades, a row of about 4 of them, all frag grenades. And as for weaponry, they have... Give me a second. I gotta pull my store out. They have a holdout, 12 defender, which you can see right there. You're talking for stuff you're looking for something for up close and personal, then you're probably looking for something like a light blaster, I'm guessing.
No, not a light blaster. Something like a carbine or even maybe even like a slug thrower or something where if I'm in close quarters, I can take care of a couple people.
Couple people. That's a... Well, you're not looking for anything too heavy then. You're not looking for like a full rifle. And he's just kind of like flipping through in his head. There's one of the old Model 80s. Take a look at. He pulls out this. It's still a blaster. It's not really the carbine you're looking for. He just has a couple of old dusted up E11s behind the counter, but nothing all that impressive to you. The one weapon that he does have that is almost like on a mantelpiece, that is hooked up behind him on a wall, is a DX heavy blaster rifle, and it's a fairly impressive piece of equipment just visually. But it's not really falling within what you're looking for in your description, so he kind of skims over it.
No,
What
it's
is
a fine
our
looking weapon,
timing
but-
looking like? Because I know we had an appointment.
You guys are okay. By the time that it would take you to get over there, just you probably want to leave within the next like 10-15 minutes just to make sure you got there early, because you guys were mentioning you wanted to get there early.
I'm actually going to buy the Defender.
E11, wow. Thought that was
The
only
little
Imperial
Defender?
issue.
Yeah, I'm going to buy this. Put the credits on the table.
Let's just say it
How
fell
much
off
is
the
he?
back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the
So
hover
surely
truck
we're
had
not
a little bit of an accident.
surely we're not expected to pay top dollar for something that fell off of the back of a truck like that.
Okay, well, and you can see him kind of like kicking the dust. He's like, I mean, what are you looking for? Like, what are you thinking?
I'm not sure this is anything I was talking about. I was actually kind of looking for like a beam splitter, or even like a shotgun. If you can find anything that archaic.
You're talking about slug throwers that. Let me see what I've got in the back. He kind of rummages around to the back, and then he comes back out. And he's just like, I don't have anything with that kind of. You're looking for something fairly specialist, and nothing that my suppliers would have. I mean, I get mostly traded, and it'd be. I could try to get you one though. I mean, maybe I could talk to my suppliers.
Well, you said that there might be somebody who has a little more armor or some specialized stuff on hand.
Well, those are circles, sir, that I do not travel in. And you get the sense that he's talking about something even under the table more so than what you've experienced thus far on Tatooine. Contacts of contacts kind of deal.
So Cantios is picking up the Defender, and we're good to get 1,000 credits for our items.
1,000 credits on the table for trade-in. 900 credits, just if that's what you want to do, is sell your stuff.
Tell you what, I'll make you a deal, Candios. If you want that thing, I'll trade you the weapons I'm throwing in for that carbine that you'd picked up. Maybe I can make some modifications to it.
But wait, what?
I
Yeah,
thought we
the
were
carbine I
selling
picked up.
carbine.
You mean the carbine
other
I'm
one.
currently using?
Yeah, the other one you picked up. I mean, if you're already replacing it with something.
Not. The holdout is I'm going to be putting it in my smuggler's coat, and you see him already looking at you like putting the Defender in his little pocket.
You actually trying to sneak it in there?
No. I'm paying for it, and I'm
Okay.
Like, I'm paying
I thought you were
for it.
just
Oh, I thought-
trying to pocket this thing.
Yoink!
No, I
No,
thought you were.
no.
I thought you were talking about the heavy blaster rifle. My bad, kid.
What? I already paid. I'm putting my things away. People talk.
All right,
Okay.
so you paid for your
All right.
stuff?
I paid for 25 credits for my defender. This is the price he's asking for, correct? Is the price on the card, or is he asking for something else?
Oh, he wants 300 credits for that.
For the defender holdout blaster.
Yes, he does. He was 250, right? Yeah, he wants 300 for it. You're on the rim.
Never mind
It's
then.
hard to get supplies.
Never mind then. Outrageous
You
price.
hand it back to him
forget-
angrily. He's like, well, if you're not willing to pay
Trade-ins.
for it, then I'm not willing to sell it. And he takes the pistol back out of your hand and he puts it back behind the counter.
Don't forget we got 1,000's worth of trade-ins if we want to buy a lot of
Good,
stuff.
yeah, but say we're getting an extra 100 on the trade-in value.
It's
if you
got
want it,
two.
But
It's got 2 shots. It's not worth it.
okay.
Per
Got two
ammo pack.
shots.
Per ammo pack.
Tell you what, I'll see what I can do to get you a nice little weapon like that. How about?
I make a negotiation check to see if we can get like 950 out of what we brought in.
You can try.
Okay.
All right, make your roll.
As a
As a
bonus,
setback for
can-
having already, coerced this guy into giving information he didn't want to give already. It's going to be very hard to charm him or negotiate with him. So we're going to go ahead and add a setback to that.
I was gonna say, could over Creeshaw the Ranger just smiles.
Not helping.
And he adds another setback to it for just really not wanting to make a deal with you people. Okay.
3 success, 1 advantage.
950, fine. As long as you just leave, please. It's stressing me out as it is.
I look over my
Oh,
shoulder at
yeah,
Ranger.
very good.
Can't take you anywhere. All right, we'll take the 950 and we'll go.
That was 3 blanks and 1
For all
failure.
the cards, yeah. all the bits, yeah.
Those blanks,
He
those
was really
blank rolls.
flustered at this point.
Is it for everything as well? So
Yeah.
I'll pass the cards over to you. There you go.
All this stuff. So
If it was
I will
something nicer, I would have tried stealing
this
it.
hot
It's not
mess
even that
later.
nice.
So, you guys have sold the extra gear that you had kicking around, and you leave the establishment. What are you up to?
Do you want to just hang on to those credits
950.
careers like a party pot?
Sure. I can do
in a
that.
sense, if you want to. Unless we just dice it out between 4 of us.
No, I think that's reasonable. Yeah, I mean, we got him as a group. Why don't we hold on to him and spend him as a group?
That'll be the group fund.
Yeah.
Group
Okay.
pots.
Make sure somebody's keeping track of that group pot.
Yeah.
No taking. No taking.
Yeah, I can do that.
So I guess I should tell you guys outside of the shop now.
Yep, you guys just walked out of the shop. Suns are shining. It's about an hour later now as you've been traveling over here, so you've got 2 hours until your thing.
The
Give or take
Ranger
a few
produces the gauntlets in front of the group. A quick explanation to my reaction in there.
Yeah, it was
Don't
a
care.
little extreme.
It's up to you, Ranger. But yeah, obviously that seems like those are really important to you.
He slaps Cantios with the gauntlets. One gauntlet,
As he's
Back
walking
of the
around,
head.
he's texting him.
Roll an attack
melee.
versus his coordination to see if he can dodge it.
I have a setback dice remover. I don't even know if that helps.
I don't have any setback to that, so it's fine.
Oh, you guys are rolling against each other, so go ahead and roll.
Alright,
What
let's
did
see.
you get?
1,
Oh
2,
my
3, 4,
God.
5 success, 1 advantage.
How hard did you hit him?
What-
I
what-
had 3 success and 2 advantage, so he hit me pretty hard.
Yeah, it's,
Nope.
it's-
How hard did you swing, though? It was like a good
it's-
clock.
yeah, it's a good clock.
Okay. How many successes did you have? 5?
5.
Okay.
I had 3 success.
He clocks you, and the impact doesn't like give you a concussion or damage you in any way, but it does knock you off your feet, and you just eat dirt.
Now I care. Now I care a lot.
Now stand up and listen, you got something to teach you.
No.
These gauntlets, well, the whole armor set belonged to my father. Years and years
Wow.
ago, he... Shut up. This stuff completes the armor I used to wear. And you sort of see Ranger phase out for a little bit.
And you notice that
Couple
nothing he's
seconds.
wearing matches the gauntlets that he's currently like looking at and staring into.
It was taken from me. It was taken to me when I was captured by the Empire.
You got caught.
And with
How did it
that,
end up
you
out
see
here?
above you the tri-winged shuttlecraft of an Imperial shuttle kind of fly a little too low over the city.
Yeah, those guys. We'll talk more when we're back in the cantina. A little story to tell you.
Don't we need to head towards the casino?
Yes, I mean, I'll tell you later. Let's get this job done
Okay.
first. Stow away the gauntlets for now.
Okay.
So we're
So you
just
guys-
kind of walking along.
Yep.
We're
So
gonna
you're,
walk along. Stick
you're walking along. Your vehicle's already parked. You're walking down one of the main roads, through the back alleys. You eventually make it over to the casino. The building is impressive. It's out in an open kind of courtyard. There are structures littered around it, but you can tell this is like one of the main structures in the center of the city. What you didn't notice from before was this large building that stands behind it and almost into it is half of a starship sticking out, as if somebody had used the remains of either a crashed ship or a landed ship to build a building and use it as a cantina that just juts out the side. Its engines still point almost upward at an angle. The lights are all powered down, but you can see the shape of the Valerian symbol. And this is the Lucky Depot. Welcome.
So I'm gonna stealth myself. Because I can.
Looking around, you see a variety of buildings and shops that are open around, some of them multiple stories. There is a main entrance, and 2 guards are posted on the outside, clad in this black and ringed with purple colors all over it. Straps, equipment. They look fairly heavily armed and armored, and they just sit next to the doors. But people seem to be coming in and out of the structure's main entrance without issue.
Are we going in with you, Vic, or are we staying outside?
I like to think we all turned around to talk about a plan and Cantios is gone.
Cantios, roll your stealth check, or did you already do it?
Oh, god damn it.
What'd
2
you roll?
success, 2 advantage.
It's not too bad. You've had worse.
I've had worse.
So,
But I hate how
Cantios.
I get a blank in yellow dice.
you guys turn around. Cantios is gone. Once again, like the night. It is
In
daytime.
the
though.
daytime.
Did he go to like the night again?
No, not again.
Look around and you just see the crowds moving, and he's just lost in it.
Oh, I should have asked for a bell.
You guys do still have your comlinks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we don't
Guess
need him
so.
right now. At least I hope not. Ranger, you know more about these places than I do. Most I hung out was the local bar in the station above Ulium. So,
Well, we know this place belongs to a Lady Valeria. Again, someone we don't want to mess with.
yeah, Lady Valeria and anybody who can stand up to the hut is somebody we do not want to piss off.
Alright, so... Again, I'm gonna hope the kids get a watch over what we do. But,
Something, I guess.
You hoped wrong.
damn it. Ranger hopes.
Goes
Get
up in
something?
handcuffs, walking by. What did you even do?
What didn't I do? Goes back and steals the fucking hotel blaster.
So if it's approaching time, then yeah.
We
Yeah, I
can come in
think,
with you, Vic.
Does
Yeah,
Cantios
if you wanna come
actually
in.
go back to steal that holdout blaster? If you say it,
Or
you
that's
gotta
when
tell
the GM gets a whisper.
Are you doing it?
No, it's not worth it to him.
Okay, if you say you're doing it, I'm gonna take it from now on. If somebody says I'm doing the thing, you're doing the thing. Okay,
Okay.
just so you guys know. That's how.
Okay.
All right, so you guys are standing outside, out of earshot of the guards. Obviously, the crowds are moving to and fro. You can see the large bit of the starship. A little bit of these smaller structures are attached to it. Looks like there's multiple entrances into the building and one main entrance, and an open courtyard. Cantios is gone.
I'd like you guys fairly close. If you want to come in with me, and then I'll head to the high roller table by myself.
Alright. However, these casinos are not gonna let us carry our weapons in, just to let you know.
You're right. I think we ought to go take them back to the.
Well, no, they're
Back to
just
the room.
Do
stolen.
they
then-
have like a locker?
Yeah, they'll
Or if
stolen
you want to
it.
just hang on to.
As you peek inside the doorways, you actually do see like a greeting area and 2 white and blue metallic scanning devices that are searching for weapons. One person walks in where few have already thrown through, no problem. This person walks in and you hear "Grr," and the light turns from blue to red, and you can see actually the silhouette of the weapons through their clothing light up as if being holographically displayed for the guards, who grab the person and drag them back over to a small booth on the right-hand side of the wall from your perspective, where they're forced to pull these weapons out, a knife, a blaster, and hand them over. They're locked in a box, and the person is handed a key.
Perfect. Yep.
All right,
right.
we just
Sounds
hand over
good.
weapons, get in there, do what we need to do, and get out again.
Vic's gonna go over there and he's gonna hand over the. He's gonna ask for a box.
Okay, so you
And,
walk over, ask
put
for a
his-
box.
Yep. Put his hunting blaster and his holdout blaster in there.
The droid behind the bar looks at you and for a moment starts to bring out the average size box and then sees this gigantic axe on your back and looks at it for a second and looks at the box, looks back up at you one more time. So we'll have to put a ticket to that.
He's not. He doesn't actually have the axe on him right now.
Oh, you didn't take the axe. Okay,
Back at the room.
never mind.
Nope.
So he opens up a box for each of you. You're able to put your items inside. Are any of you taking a holdout blaster or trying to sneak any weapons through?
No.
No, Vic's not.
No.
Okay. Cantios, are you going through? Or are
He's
you
going to
watching from
attempt to go
outside?
through.
You're going to attempt to go through. Okay. You all make it through. Cantios, waiting in the crowd. You're not like crouching and hiding in the open. You're just kind of keeping blended in with the background of just the movement of people. And as a large group finally makes their way through some kind of party, you do manage to slip yourself into the middle of the group. All right, and manage to actually make your way in a matter of commotion, pushing over one individual that kind of falls into one of the guards. Nobody actually notices this is the reason that person tripped. You need to sneak around the scanning device and actually get past and into the main bit of the casino, of which now you are all inside here. You see multiple floors of a rounded building that opens up into what was that makeshift starship on the outside. These floors have different versions of like slot machines, tables. There's mini tables, smaller ones in the center where people are playing different games. Pizak is one of them you may recognize. A few of them you don't. There are areas for gambling for species that you don't recognize or understand how any of those games could possibly work, and the symbols are completely foreign to you. You hear cheering from one side of the crowd and the other as people win big and lose even bigger. You do notice that there is a small opening on the left-hand side of the entranceway, and a writing on the top says this is the high rollers area that you're looking for. It is a darkened area, and this early in the afternoon seems fairly empty, and you can see from the inside a couple of booths from your current perspective.
All right, Vic, we'll wait here. A
Anybody
bit
in
far
there?
away, but
You want to walk
Yeah, we
over
follow
to the
through.
doorway?
Yeah. All right.
So you guys are separating here. It
Yeah, we're
sounds
gonna-
like... Go ahead.
we're gonna keep Vic in obviously well within comm range, so you can call us if you need us.
Okay.
Night.
Cantios is kind of walk into the high roller suite and like look around.
So as you, Vic, get closer to the entrance for the high rollers area, you get a better vision of what's actually inside this area, and it's just a simple bar. As you walk through the forward entranceway, from your earlier perspective, you could see a couple of booths, but now you can actually see into the whole area, and it is a few small tables, a couple of booths, and a small bar. As you walk in, blocking most of the perspective of the room and most of the bar at first is this almost paper-like doorway that divides this from the main area. So you can see there's like light coming through it. You walk around that, and now you have a clear view of the bar on your left. You see a single individual sitting at the bar, sipping. The rest of it, one other individual is enjoying a drink at one of the booths while reading over a datapad. And the one bartender is just kind of preparing for the evening when all of the high rollers are scheduled to come in.
All right. So Vic's gonna belly up to the bar. Take a look at the person that's sitting there. Wait for the bartender to come over.
As you sit down, the stool kind of creaks, and you tap on the bar, and the bartender kind of walks over. What can I get for you, sir? Just kind of cleaning out one of the glasses.
Any chance that you got an ion blaster?
An ion blaster? Oh yeah, we've got those. I can mix you one right now. He kind of like looks over at the man sitting at the bar. An older gentleman, human, standing probably about 6 feet tall, gray hair, a black jacket that kind of has the collar up a little bit. You can see he looks like a spacer of some kind. You've seen this type of clothing before, and you get the sense that this is probably that kind of blaster-absorbing clothing that they sell. He's got a single stripe running down his leg, and his pants are gray, brownish color. He points over to that gentleman over there, and he's like, I believe this man wants to buy you a drink.
Ah, well, I'd much appreciate that.
You see the bartender walk over, and he kind of whispers to the older human, who looks over at you, kind of gives you a bit of a salute, and kind of walks over to your side of the bar and takes a seat next to you.
Morning.
Morning. Lovely time for a drink. Here you want an ion blaster.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. An old friend of mine used to give me them.
Really? Well, maybe we have the same old friend. Adam?
Ooh, Adam Smith. Boy, that's a coincidence. Why, he's really, really far away from you.
Indeed he is. Well, let me get you that drink. And bartender goes back and starts actually pouring the 2 drinks and sets them down in front of you. It's like, the name is Valtaine. Valtaine Ricard. Pleasure to meet you. Vic.
Valtaine Ricard.
Yes, sir.
Well, Valtaine, my name is Vic, but my full name, Victor, but most people call me Vic. That's what Adam did.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. So, you've gotten yourself into a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, apparently I have.
Now,
I don't know how much Adam filled you in on my situation before.
Just the briefest bits of it. I'd love if you brought me up to speed. And don't worry, this bartender's one of the best in the business. You can trust him to fix your drinks up right. Bartender kind of gives a nod.
So, hopefully I can trust his discretion as well.
Yeah, of course you can. I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. So, I think we've attracted the attention of an organization that worries me, and I don't know exactly how they're associated with my current problems. But do you know anything about the Gray Blades?
He kind of gives a sigh, and he's like, yeah, we've gotten a few intelligence reports about these guys. They used to be bounty hunters. Low time, or, they didn't... Their influence has grown considerably recently. Looking down at his drink, he hasn't sipped it yet. They're being bankrolled by somebody, and they're moving a lot of goods and equipment here, and to be honest, we're not sure what they're up to, but we're trying to find out more. It's one of the reasons why we got into contact with you so quickly when we, we heard you were traveling with somebody.
Yeah, we, long story short, I woke up on a freighter, on a Gozanti, that, in a cage, along with 3 other people. And it was, apparently owned by some people that were associated with these Gray Blades. There was a Toydarian and a Gand, and they got attacked by what looked like some Hutt fighters. And in the confusion, we were able to escape down to the planet. But since then, we've run into a couple of things like a local gang called the Squill Kings. But just recently, the mayor of one of the towns of Mostakai got abducted by a group that's looking for one of our members.
Well, it sounds like y'all were the lucky ones. Our reports have been saying that the Gray Blades have been picking people up from all over. We don't know where they're going. We've even lost a couple of our own. Not sure if it's them or not, but we want to find out. The Rim's kind of alight with this business, and their ranks have been growing quickly. Toydarian, he sits there and he gives it a thought. That's got to be Deg Mog.
Deg Mog?
Yeah. He's one of their bookkeepers, as we understand it. As for the Gand, I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look into that. That's
Well,
interesting.
I
They said you say you were locked
appreciate-
up coming through here. He kind of says, "Well, I'm glad you made it free." He slams his drink back and he clicks it onto the bar. Whoa! Go, these IO blasters. Whoa.
Yeah, they give it a little bit of kick. That's where the name came from. Blast you off into orbit if you have too many of them.
No joke. So, what are you looking for from our associates, our friends?
Well, I don't know exactly. I mean, Adam made a couple of references. He sure didn't seem cozy with the local authorities, nor did he help me escape from the HUD attentions. So that kind of slims down the list. I'm not asking you any direct questions because if you guys aren't, local or imperial authorities, I doubt you'd be one people asking questions. But it's possible that this group of associates that I've become sort of my friends and almost family might be able to help you guys out some. For instance, we ran across a cave and it just so happened that there were a couple of containers of high-test starship fuel for reactors. You know, the kind of stuff that you'd run real capital ships on. I
Now
figured that somebody that was in an organization that was large enough to have those kind of ships might be really interested in something like that.
And he kind of perks up at this. He's like, "Well, this is unexpected, huh?" I'll be honest. I was kind of here put out for the organization that I'm working for is, well, we wear a lot of hats. We're always in need for new supplies. You say it's high-grade stuff. What kind of fuel is this?
It is. I'm drawing a blank. Let me look back at my notes. That was so long ago.
So long. That was episode 2. I forgot about that. That was session 2. Rhodium, I believe. Yeah, it was rhodium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rhydonium.
Rhydonium. That's what it is. Rhydonium.
Yeah, it's there were 5 containers of rhydonium we found in a what looked like an old smuggler's cave.
That's some expensive stuff. And
yeah.
well, we're in a safe place. We can talk a little bit freer. You do know who I work for, the Rebel Alliance. I'm put on task for a recruitment, and I've heard really good things about you guys. Well, for you. I hear you're working with a group of people.
Just out of curiosity, what have you heard about the people? I'm kind of curious to see how much you guys have learned.
Well, we know that whatever or whoever was aboard that ship that you escaped was of importance. It's not just the Greyblades that were after him either. I think one of them was scheduled to go someplace else, supposed to be handed off. The rest of you were destined for probably a life of slavery somewhere. We're just not sure where or what. I don't know what anybody needs this kind of slave labor force for. It's
Somebody said something about
impressive scale.
the fighting in the ring. That Toydarian.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's another group that's contacted us, and I'm suspecting they're related to the Greyblades that have taken that mayor of Mostakai hostage. And they're also asking questions about one of our companions. I suspect it's the same one. Maybe a Keldorian.
You've got a Keldor with your group. Yeah. We've got word that it's not just the Greyblades that are looking for him then. Keldor's being hunted by the Empire right now. We're not sure why or how, but they're just looking for information. We're hoping to snatch him up first before anybody else had a chance. You say that Keldor's with you.
Well, I can't tell his stories for him, but I could definitely relay a message if you'd like me to tell you that there's an organization that might be looking out for his interests. But I'm assuming you'd be looking out for his interests.
Roll a perception check.
For advantage.
All right. You notice nothing. Valtane, kind of contemplating everything that you guys have talked about thus far, starts rolling his finger around the shot glass that he had finished. And then he looks at it. And he looks up at the bartender. And then he kind of looks back at that shot glass and he looks over at you. Hey, John. My glass has been empty for a while now. And that's when you see, when you look over, that the bartender's arm is shaking just a little bit. And you hear a click. And the sound of something winding. And that's where we're going to end it.
Oh, no way.
Oh.
Can't do that to us.
Cliffhanger.
And that's where we're going to end it, because it is about 5 o'clock. And I want to keep Blitz up all night long, so...
No, you stay there. I'm calling work. I'm not coming in tomorrow.
Very interesting.
So, I need to you check your Discord messages, Advisor, and I sent you one. Oh yeah, you already answered that question. Okay, cool. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight for this session. I hope you had fun. We went from 2 full combat episodes to a lot of story stuff and kind of just getting all of our gear and equipment sorted out of the guys. So, yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new. I hope you guys had fun tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
I filled up.
I didn't think I'd get in the building.
This was a fun
And I
one because
just-
you had so many options that I had no clue where you were going to go.
I
Put up so much
honestly
note
saw
paper.
your message after I went in, and I'm like, oh, he was asking what I was gonna do.
Uh-huh. I was whispering to you, where are you going to be? I needed to know if you were going to be outside the building, if you were going to go into the casino, a fairly large casino. I needed to know what was going on. So if you ever stealth,
sorry.
you've got to keep an eye on that so I can ask
Yeah,
you where
I'll
you
know.
are. So I know what you see. So,
You've got to stealth information as well as yourself.
yeah. The GM still has to know. So, good times, though. I had a lot of fun. I'm curious to see where this goes.
A lot of story in this one.
I'm
A
surprised
lot.
I opened the box.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
can't
story
believe I opened the
development
box.
one. I mean, but that's good. We had 2 combat episodes in a row. So it's
Yeah.
good to progress the storyline a little further. I'm loving these twists.
The best part is the chat doesn't know how hard it was to open that box, too. How long and annoying it was.
Yeah, he's had that box since episode 1, and he's been trying to open it. And I'm sure you guys had a good idea of like what the box was. Was definitely the single sword with the symbol on it. Is obviously the Jedi symbol. I don't think the audience had seen that yet. That was a different episode where we talked about it. But this is what's engraved
Yeah.
on the front of the box. And there's no
He has-
hinge. There's no way of opening
no
it.
idea.
So he's had this thing. He almost shot it with a blaster. I don't think we had that one on camera
He
either.
almost ran over it with
No,
a speeder.
I,
Yeah.
I wanted
I,
to throw a grenade at it.
I wanted
Yeah.
to throw a grenade at it.
Ah,
I did shoot it at it, and I
Yeah.
shot the wall up.
Broke a
Ranger took him
vibroblade.
down off the bunk bed
Um,
in Mustake with a
there
grenade.
was
in
broken
his hand.
furniture. It was.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you broke
of
all the
rage.
furniture in the room. I remember that. That poor room you guys were given. that
Thanks
little
for
house.
coming, everyone. We appreciate everyone in the chat.
Yes, we do. Sorry.
And if you enjoyed yourself, in spite of the cliffhanger, consider giving a like.
Because of the
Subscribe
cliffhanger.
for more like this.
Yeah, come back.
Or if you
Find out
love
what
it
happened
because of the
next
cliffhanger, leave a like. And don't forget to check us out on the Discord server too. It's where a lot
And
of
if
us
you want to
hang
see
out
our
and-
Caldor on Jawa Juice again, come on back.
Brought to you by Java Juice.
Oh, do we want to mention the 2-week break?
Oh, right.
Christmas.
Yeah.
So our next scheduled episode is on Christmas Day, right?
Yeah.
So
Or
we're
it would
obviously
have
cliffhangering
been-
them for 2 weeks. Oh,
Wait.
you evil man!
Yeah, you are evil.
it's not my fault. We're
It
at the
would
time
have
cutout,
been.
and we gotta call it. We gotta call it when the time
So
comes.
are we back on the 1st then? Is that good by everybody?
Is everybody good for New Year's Day?
Yeah, New Year's Day.
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Well, we'll be back. So
Just
none next
confirmed, but
week.
Yes,
but we'll be
should
back.
be fun.
We will be back on the
Indeed,
1st
New
then.
Year's Day.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next year with the exciting.
We'll see you
conclusion
next
to-
year.
At the end of the cliffhanger. Oh,
Next
grief,
year.
good
It's like a
grief.
mid-season break. We're taking a break for Christmas. And
Don't-
we're returning in the new year.
don't blame me. I don't drive the story. They're deciding what they do. They decided to go in there right at the end of the time frame. So really, this is Vic's fault.
Oh, Oh yeah, it's all.
Oh,
This is
wow.
all Vic's fault.
Deflect.
So I just grabbed Vic and I threw him under the speeder, which I don't really know how that works because it's a speeder and it would just like go over you. But whatever.
Yeah.
Underneath the speeding hover bus.
Underneath the bantha.
Tell you what, everyone have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas or whatever you
Yeah.
personally celebrate.
Or
That
just a
all next
lovely
year.
Monday.
Or on lovely
Or a
Monday.
happy Monday.
Please, Mondays. We make Mondays better.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.